My nephews stole from me one too many times, so I got them arrested.
You steal from me one time, shame on you. You steal from me 2 times, arrested.
And scene. Nice job, Sophia. So, my entitled nephew stole from me one too many times. This time, I got them arrested, and now my sister and brother-in-law have to deal with the fallout, and I don't really care anymore.
What would you arrest someone? Sorry, continue.
It would take a lot. It would take a lot, but we'll revisit. That's a good question. Sophia, that's a good question.
Thank you.
About midway last week, when I came home from work, I noticed my shed door was open and the padlock that I used to keep it shut was broken. I had a lot of bags full of soda cans in there. Okay. And I and my friends tend to drink a lot of soda, so I've built up cans over the course of a year. And I was about to cash them in if the bottle drops soon because I like big payouts. We're talking straight cashola.
That's about $10 there.
It's about $10. 10 big ones. It's 10 cents a can where I live after all.
It might
A can. He's got mountains. We don't know.
Okay.
And by the way, this comes from Yam Throwaway on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So there was more than just my bags of cans missing from the shed too. They took my gardening shears, a steel rake, 2 shovels, one of them being one of those folding camping ones, not cheap, a full 2-gallon gas can, a cheap power drill I got for like $5 used, an electric hedge trimmer, and a small electric chainsaw, and a machete.
Whoa.
So basically
They
$150. They didn't touch the lawnmower, the weed whacker, extension cords, or the old radio that I had in there. No idea why they took what they did, but I guess they figured they could resell them or something like that. Now I checked my camera footage and there were my 3 nephews, ages 16, 15, and 14. Why am I getting the feeling that this is some like 3 Stooges, just like, or like Malfoy and is like, and Crab and Goyle, you know, like that's what it's giving right now. 3 just freaking lumping idiots, just, you know.
They're stealing mountains of cans.
Mountains of
with
cans
a machete.
and used drills.
Yeah.
My God. I saw them breaking into my shed with one of their dad's large claw hammers. I recognized the hammer because it's a bright yellow and black and their dad has a bunch of them. It only took them a few hits to smash that cheap lock. After they broke into my shed, they took what they could by hand, and then they came back with shopping carts that I'm guessing they also stole, but it took them a few trips to get all the cans. And they didn't bother to even try and close the door when they were done. Dude, at least have some freaking manners.
What are they doing with all the cans?
Cashing them in.
Do they even know how to do that?
Oh my God. I mean, it's a fair question. They're literally getting like, maybe, okay, let's call it like $200 to $300 tops.
And that's only if he's got like thousands of cans.
No. Well, he had like a bunch of other stuff that they stole. The drill, the machete.
But to go through that much effort with the cans alone.
Yes.
To get maybe $20.
Just get a job, bro.
Just get a job.
Just get a freaking
Mow a
job.
lawn.
And you know how much money you're going to need for gas to take the cans? So one of these states, let me tell you the states.
Riley, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
They stole 2 gallons of gas.
Oh, okay, they're fine.
That's still not enough.
What if they have a hybrid?
They didn't even fill up all the way.
Just
But still,
saying.
like you have to have like thousands, like tens of thousands of cans in order
to even
get
make a
profit.
dent.
But by that time, you need to stop drinking whatever you're drinking because that's putting you in the dirt.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Economics, guys.
So, my sister and brother-in-law first denied that their kids stole anything from me. So I went to their house and I showed them the security footage from my cameras. I'd not told them I'd had cameras installed, and the reason I had the cameras put in was because of prior thefts by my nephews. So this is not a first-time offense.
They're naturals at this.
They're naturals, right? But Sophia, it started with the food and the snacks.
It started with they just take a couple little cheese crackers.
Cheesy Wheezies.
Cheesy Wheezies. No sponsors.
Lil Wayne's new cheese snack brand.
They start off with a little Cheesy Wheezies. Then they go to cans.
Ooh.
And then they're stealing your wife.
Sophia, if you do the math.
Don't let them steal your wives.
That's
Nosferatu.
Do I tell her, chat? Should
What?
I tell her?
Tell me what?
Should I tell her, chat?
Tell her.
That's their aunt.
Yeah, no, I know. They're just, yeah, I'm aware.
Like you're saying kidnap.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were like,
No,
steal your girl.
I mean, they're children as well.
Which made it We're moving on. We're moving on. Oh, goodness. So, and then it moved on to DVDs and video games. Okay, we've gone from Gateway to Level Up.
God.
Then pretty much anything they thought they could smuggle out after that. And anytime I made them return stuff they'd stolen from me, I was treated like the bad guy and then got the fakest apologies I've ever heard. And they've never gotten in much trouble from their parents either. The final straw happened last year when my nephews broke into my house and stole 3 6-packs of my favorite blood orange root beer, quote unquote.
It's the same thing.
But
no,
it's not.
No, they didn't do that.
Wavy drinks.
Oh
What's a good
God.
name?
See, I had a really good reaction, but
spicy drink sounds like
blood orange drink.
Drink. There we go. Drink. Whatever. They censor us. What can we do about it? They used my spare key to get in, and they also took a huge dump in one of my bathrooms and not only didn't flush, but also peed all over the floor.
Who are these?
Dude, these
Who
guys
are these
suck.
people?
At least they didn't double deck the toilet.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
their
no.
parents didn't potty train them?
Literally. Literally.
Hey, sometimes
what are you, me?
Sometimes you miss.
Well, then maybe
Sometimes
you should sit
you
down.
miss.
I never
Sometimes
miss.
you miss.
You can't miss if you're outside.
You miss 100% of the shots.
Stop.
You don't.
Don't encourage him. Dang it, Sophia, but that was a great joke. And I'm pretty sure it was intentional. The drinks that they stole was hidden in one of their bedrooms when I confronted my sister and brother-in-law about stealing it, and I was basically given an equivalent of boys will be boys when I wanted to get them punished. So I had the cameras put in and I told no one, which was a smart move.
Nice.
When my sister and brother-in-law saw the camera footage of my nephew stealing from me, they seemed furious, but they were actually madder that their boys skipped school than stealing from me. We can punish them as long as it's not in Opie's favor.
They're like, as long as it's after school, then it's just an extracurricular.
Bonus points it would have been. They spent all day making repeated trips to the bottle drop and cashing the cans by machine. The bottle drop also pays by machine, so they just kept bringing the cans in until they had cashed them all. And then they bought video games and junk food with the money. Said money actually amounted to nearly $200.
Oh my!
Dang.
Junk
Nailed
food!
it.
Junk food!
Dude, they're literally like teenage boys.
Why are we not?
No, they literally
Why are we not
are.
putting this in meme coins? Why are we not putting this in like Bitcoin or something like that?
They're not.
What?
Kids.
They're not
Kids
thinking
these days don't know how to invest.
They don't know how to do it. Tell them how, Sophia.
They steal your wives and they don't know how to invest.
Who are also their aunts.
They steal your wives and they don't even put them in Bitcoin.
Wow. Well, with that, they destroyed the padlock, and I had told my sister and brother-in-law they now owed me $200.
Nah, 250, 250.
You're right.
I took my time.
Emotional damages.
Okay, 500.
Now we're talking.
Because they stole your wife.
Why do you not let this die, Sophia? My sister and brother-in-law went from being angry at their kids to making excuses for them now that it's a little
Whoa.
cashola, and then being angry at me for wanting that money back when I know they have 3 kids and a mortgage. I said it was either that or I go to the police and press charges. They told me to get out, and I said they have 2 days to decide how to pay me back before I call the cops.
You have 2 days, and today is the first day. That's a Nosferatu.
We know.
No, but everyone who watched Nosferatu is going to crack up on that. Sorry, continue.
Guys, put your hand up in the chat if you've watched
Please
Nosferatu.
tell
Put your
me.
hands up. Sound
I want
off,
someone
chat.
to know what that meant.
Sound off. I got back everything else my nephew stole, machete and gas cans included, though they'd already used the gas for something. But over the... We don't know. But over the next couple of days, my sister and brother-in-law were blowing up my phone with tons of messages, both verbal and text. At first, they were calling me heartless because it was right after the holidays and they have 3 kids and a mortgage. We keep
Lest you
stacking
forget.
it. Keep stacking it. Then they started gaslighting me, then even threatening me, and all of this would go in a repeating cycle. My nephews chimed in from another cell phone and were sending me lots of messages of their own, which were more fake apologies and gaslighting. My eldest nephew sent me a picture of himself holding up a soda can and giving me
God.
the middle finger.
How?
Wow.
Like he was like, can I do the middle finger?
Go for
I
it.
don't know. Halfway.
Here, I'll do.
Yeah.
That's hard. Okay, so he's
Right.
like this, or is he like this?
I think like this.
Like he's kind of got it.
I think like this. Pinky out. Pinky out. What do you...
Like that, you
Who
know?
holds a glass like that?
That's what I'm saying. Is he doing it like this?
I feel like he's doing it like this.
Is he doing it like this?
Like this. Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
but
probably.
look, I mean, you can have a finger anyway. Anyways. So I guess they weren't really taking my threats of going to police seriously because family.
He's family.
He's family. When I last spoke with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they refused to negotiate any sort of method of repayment from what my nephews did. You good over there?
I don't know. He keeps attacking me.
Who are you talking about?
Riley.
I'm not doing anything.
Bad boy.
He keeps putting the camera on me, and I'm not
Down.
even reading.
They refused to negotiate any sort of method of repayment for what my nephews did, even when I suggested they just sell the video games they purchased with the money from the cans. Then they had the audacity to say that I'd actually tempted my nephews by having cans in the shed to begin with. My cans bring all the boys to the yard. We know how that goes.
Yep.
Oh, yes. I am the devil snake that tempted my nephews with a shed full of cans that just screamed, money, money, money.
No. Mr. Crab voice.
Money.
Yes.
They both were. So that was it. I went to the police station that morning and filed the report and gave them a copy of the video footage of my nephew stealing from my shed. Yes. I gave them the broken lock they smashed, showed them all the text, which were screenshotted and also given as evidence. Heck, I even gave them a copy of a photo of my eldest nephew sent me, flipping me off.
Owned.
Pwned. Got him. I did tell police that I found it worrisome that my nephews had taken the machete, but they classified it as a tool.
Okay.
Especially since they took a lot of other tools, so fair enough on that, I
I don't know
suppose.
if I want a 15-year-old having a machete.
You've never been a 15-year-old boy with a machete being like, frick yeah.
You have got me there. I have never been a 15-year-old boy.
So if that is a tool, then I guess you can take a machete to the police department. It's a tool.
Oh, what do you think about that, police department? Checkmate.
Got
liberals.
you. So, but my nephews were indeed arrested on Saturday.
Whoa, they were juvie?
They were arrested, bro, for $200.
That's pretty crazy.
That's
not even felony amount.
no,
that's
but
almost-
it was break and entry.
Oh,
And they pissed on the floor.
And they pissed on the floor.
True. Well, that I don't even know if he has the evidence for that one. So
He should. That should be like 15 years in jail.
it's-
Okay, 30 days in jail.
Yeah, because somebody pissed on the floor
What?
of Mother Nature.
Oh.
Oh, she wants it, dude. She begs for it.
Whoa.
Give me water.
Okay. I don't need to hear about your water sports with Mother Nature.
What did you two eat or drink or consume before this podcast was recorded? Dude, what is going on
I
here?
had like a bar.
Oh, man, dude.
I had a bar.
I had a bar.
Had
Do you think
some-
that we can say beer if we say beer? Like
Beer.
a Boston
Yes, that
accent?
does work.
That works.
Yeah, we're like,
Beer.
I had some beer.
You know what, guys? Sophia just solved it, ladies and gentlemen. Sophia freaking got it, okay? So, police came to their house, and my sister and brother-in-law were forced to let them in because they had a warrant. Apparently, all three of my nephews went from being cocky little craps to crying like babies when they were being put in cuffs.
That's so big now.
I know this is because a neighbor I'm acquainted with that's sort of friends with my sister was there to see it. And shortly before the arrest, my sister and brother-in-law were blowing up my phone again. They weren't able to get their kids out of jail till Monday morning, bro. Saturday to Monday. That's
Dude,
some time in the
weekend
tank,
in
brother.
jail. Okay, a weekend in jail as a teenager should fix you. It should.
It should. And now the boys are being charged with larceny, willful destruction of property / vandalism, and harassment.
Yeah, because they sent that picture of them flipping you off with the beer can.
Dude, the beer can. Parked
And
in the car
underage
yard at
drinking.
Harvard. The police took this whole case pretty seriously as there have been complaints about my nephews for some time. So other people are calling the cops on them.
Oh, man.
But nothing was proven until now. You see, the past few months, bags of cans have actually been going missing all over the area.
Well, all over the tri-state area.
The can bandits.
Wait, time out.
The Caninator.
Talk to me.
If it's everywhere, I don't think
I don't think it's just them.
it's the nephews.
It can't just be the nephews.
'Cause I
There's gotta
saw-
be a string.
I saw
Could
a
be.
dude going through our garbage one day, recycling bin, finding cans.
But this is different. This is like breaking in
Yeah, they're
to
breaking
get
it.
cans.
Yeah.
They're breaking in to get cans.
But it's everywhere. Is
yeah,
it goats?
how do they have that much time?
They're
How do they
freaking-
have that much gas?
by
How do they have
stealing
that
it.
much strength to steal your wife?
This gal.
She refuses. She refuses to drop the bit. The past few months, bags of cans have actually been going missing all over the area. Don't know if it was my nephews or not, but they're likely suspects. And with word spreading of their arrest, let's hope other neighbors with security cameras come forward with more footage. My sister and brother-in-law showed up at my house too. I refused to open the door and told them this all happened because they're enablers who refuse to hold their kids accountable for their actions. That made them just scream and pound on my door more till I threatened to call the police on them too. And since I've done it already, they know I mean it now. So they left without more trouble, but they went back to blowing up my phone. I didn't block my sister and brother-in-law. Instead, I just decided to save all the messages they send me because I've made the decision to take them to small claims court over this.
Ooh.
We are going to the law.
Yeah.
I don't really need or want the money and have already replaced the destroyed padlock with a much better one. However, the kids aren't the only ones who need to be taught a lesson. You see, in the end, I hope I put them in enough of a hole, but because they're the a-hole, that they learn not to screw with me ever again. I also have the full support of my family on this. My parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. They're all supporting me in this because my nephews have stolen from them too.
Dang, they don't like them.
A network of crime. And after banning my nephews from my house, some did the same. I'm going to push for my nephews to get community service, and the reason why isn't just because it's a good idea, but also because I know that they'll hate that the most. Whatever they are made to do, any kind of work they don't want to do, they just stand around griping and acting like the world is against them. Bro, so they're willing to put the effort in to break a lock and steal like 1,000 trillion cans, but they're like, oh, I don't want to rake these leaves.
You know what, John?
What?
If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
You're right. I love stealing cans.
Also,
I love it so much.
Conspiracy theory.
Talk to me.
The boys are just lackeys. The parents are the brains behind this whole operation.
Oh, that's a great conspiracy theory.
A conspiracy theory.
Ooh, it's a RICO.
Ooh, Rico
Okay,
case.
so RICO is basically they made RICO because the mob bosses would always send their henchmen to do the dirty work, right? So RICO is basically what they charge like the mob bosses with. To be able to get them on some charge because they initially had not. They're like they're not doing the dirty work. Like we can't charge them with it. Basically,
Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organization Act.
Yes. Yes.
Also, we got some like really good information for earlier. Cheryl said.
No, I refuse to read this.
I got you.
Cheryl,
urine can be
Nope.
good for plants as it contains nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
But I always heard that like dogs peeing on stuff is bad for it or something.
That's a dog. You never eat dog. You can eat a human liver. You can't eat a dog liver.
Why?
I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if you can eat a human
Is that
liver.
true?
I
also don't think you should eat a
Dude,
human
what
liver.
alpha male TikToks have you been watching, Riley?
Human liver.
Liver is not enough. You have to eat your own liver. That's how to be the true Sigma. Yeah.
Self-sustaining. You're supposed to be keeping us on track.
Exactly.
Well, you guys are doing a great job, so I can do a little off track. Anyways.
Well. Melanie says, I just joined and what the F? My question exactly, Melanie. Thank you. Anywho. So Opie continues, perhaps a few hundred hours of unpaid work will teach them some manners. They've been spoiled for far too long. And there's an update. Really quick. Poll. Too far or nah? Did Opie go too far? Sophia.
Nah, these kids seem pretty awful.
Yeah, I think, and also community service is great.
Community service is not
Putting them like, would I want my nephews to be put in like a jail for like?
Yes.
No, I don't think I would want to send them to jail.
But
community
tons of
service.
hours of community service.
Yeah, like
that's
100 hours.
Wow.
An hour for every can.
An hour for
thousands of hours.
thousands.
Doing community service for years.
I mean, dude, that's like
maybe an hour for every 10 can.
I don't know. Every can, 2,000 hours.
2,000 hours.
2,000 hours goes
I
to
will
2,000 hours.
do 2,000 hours.
So, update: sister and brother-in-law had the money to pay me back the entire time.
Yeah, they got all that can money.
I would hope they have at least $200, but Opie says, well, this is stupidly anticlimactic. I figured that my sister and brother-in-law were going to dig their heels in even deeper after the crap they've already gone down, but they actually caved. I filed a lawsuit against them in small claims for the actions of their kids. In the suit, I was asking for $500. Shout out to producer Riley.
Ooh.
This was for the stolen cans, the destroyed lock, the cost of replacing the lock, which was a much better, more expensive one, the cost of filing with the courts, emotional damages, and for the harassment. Shout out to co-host Sophia.
That's me.
Who also called that? My friend, whose father is a lawyer, gave me a free consultation and said I have a very strong case because of the camera footage I have of both of my nephews stealing from me and of my sister and brother-in-law pounding on my front door, plus all the messages they sent to me. When my sister and brother-in-law were served, they called me freaking out. They said I can't do this to them, so I retorted that this is the price they are paying for not parenting their kids and letting them be entitled little thieves. And if they wish to speak to me again, it will either be when I see them in court, or if they decide to pay me the $500 I'm suing for, then I hung up on them.
Stand your ground, OP.
Stand your ground, King. Go off, King. Sound off. Sound off.
Sound off.
Well, yesterday evening, I was having some friends over after work. We were just chilling and watching a movie. None of us were in the mood for video games since we were tired from the day, and we all just wanted a chill evening. But then I get a knock on the door.
Who's there?
Who's that? When I looked outside, there was my sister and brother-in-law, and they looked very unhappy. I opened the door, but left the screen door shut. Then asked them what they were doing at my house. They told me they're tired of fighting because everyone is against them, and fully admitted how badly they'd effed up by letting this go as far as they did and just wanted to make peace. My friends were standing in full view behind me, so they were witnesses to this. Brother-in-law then slid an envelope through a crack in the door that contained $500 in $50 bills.
Dang, man.
Those are hard to come by.
My
Why
man,
is this
Ulysses.
so secretive?
So secretive, right? What's all this hush business about?
I think there's something up.
These backdoor deals in the front door, might I add.
Hey, yo.
He said it was from his private savings account, then told me from now on they'll make sure my nephews are duly punished for their actions. They didn't ask me to drop the charges, but pleaded with me to at least be lenient. I said I was only pushing for community service, which is pretty lenient, and if we cooperate for that, then hopefully the judge will agree. They sighed and said they'd cooperate if that's all I wanted. Then I left without making any sort of fuss. My friends all congratulated me on holding my ground. Others in my family later did the same, and that's when I found out from my parents that they were actually threatened to disown my sister if she and her husband didn't make some changes for the better, so now they are. It may be a forced change, but it's the best we will probably see out of them, low key. My mom paid my sister and brother-in-law a visit after they repaid me too. She told me that my nephews were not playing video games. In fact, every single video game related thing was put away somewhere, and so was the TV that my nephews would game and watch movies on. All three of my nephews were in the rooms most of the time and were very rude and unwelcoming to their grandmother, but my sister claims they are dealing with the situation. So yeah, I've dropped a lawsuit.
Okay.
Now that I've been paid what I wanted, but my nephews are still going to court for theft. So there's still like the civil case and the criminal case, right?
Yeah, because OP already filed a report on them, or a police report, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which you can't. I don't think you can be like, take back. Like, there's no takes backs.
Because it's like, oh, we now have recorded you've broken the law.
Yes.
This is criminal, not civil. But my nephews are still going to court for theft and are now getting the parenting they should have been getting long ago. I've also been assured that they will not be coming near my house anytime soon and are strictly only to be either at school or at home. So under low-key house arrest. We have update number 2. My oldest nephew went mental in my house. So to start off with, yes, I did get more cameras, one installed right above the shed. So it looks like I've got the whole area covered. I want to say that my sister and brother-in-law, as well as my nephews, have learned from this whole ordeal, but that's not entirely the case. You see, especially for my eldest nephew, who couldn't let go of wanting revenge on me, and he stupidly tried to get it, here is what happened. To recap, as my previous readers know, my nephew stole a buttload of cans from my shed after breaking into it and cashed them in at the bottle drop for about $200. My sister and brother-in-law acted like I was an a-hole for wanting the money back for the cans and damages. I ended up pressing charges, but they refused to pay, and things got pretty ugly. I filed a small claims lawsuit, and they had to pay me back for the cost of the damages, theft, emotional damages for constant harassment, and the lawsuit itself, all adding to about $500, which finally made my sister and brother-in-law raise the white flag and actually start parenting their kids. My nephews got all their privileges taken away and were forced by a judge to work on community service. which they hated and had to be forced just to complete. They didn't get more than 100 hours each because I'd been repaid by their parents and we settled out of court. But still, 100 hours each, that's
a lot. That's a lot. That's more than the amount of hours that you have to drive with a driving instructor before you can get your license.
That's
instructor. Well, it's definitely more than you have to drive with a driving instructor, but also just with, I guess, an adult.
With the permit.
Yeah.
right. That's amazing that you still remember that.
It's like 50
She
hours?
kind of remembered it, if we're going to be honest.
It's
not
like
that well.
50.
I think it's like 50 hours.
So the judge pretty much fast-tracked the case here. My nephews ended up picking up garbage and doing work around several local parks. Also, the irony of they stole like cans and now they have to pick up cans.
And every time they pick up a can, someone's like, you don't even get to sell that. You just gotta throw it away.
You gotta throw it in the garbage like the garbage you are. And the man directing him, I heard, was a retired drill sergeant, so they had no fun whatsoever. My eldest nephew constantly showed his issues with authority and got into screaming matches with everyone who told him to work. His father had to be called over just to make the boy pick up a rake. The kid openly blamed me for his predicament, and his brothers were initially on his side, but after a while, they realized that he's just crazy and entitled, and they no longer wanted any part of it.
Whoa.
That's wow. So
Stepping
there you
away
go.
from the ringleader.
Ooh, starting their own little
Descent
band.
in the ranks.
Whoa. Not my monkey, not my circus. I'm not a clown anymore. That's what the brother said. So my two younger nephews stopped following his lead because it finally clicked just how wrong they were. Problem is that my sister-in-law and brother blamed me for the divide in their family, which didn't end well for them as no one in the family was on their side about it. Thank God. Everything was put on them and their bad parenting, and without me to blame, they just became silent and bitter. Half the family don't want to even associate with them, and now their own kids are divided because the eldest refuses to change. It got so bad that my eldest nephew resorted to something incredibly dumb that you're not going to want to believe it. Oh, OP? I'll believe it.
I'll believe it.
Sophia over there, she'll believe it. Riley,
that's two people.
Over there,
I'm already believing, dude.
He believes. This is a room of believers. Believer. Not doubting. Believer. That.
Call me Imagine Dragons because I'm a believer.
Imagine dragging these nuts across your face. Got him.
Oh. No. But no. So Opie says, in the middle of the night, he sneaked out and attacked my house with a pair of his dad's claw hammers. I say a pair because he literally had one in each hand.
Oh my God.
Like a freaking ice climber.
What kind of vigilante justice is this?
It's vigilante injustice.
Injustice.
The first thing he did was start by smashing the new lock on the shed.
No.
And it didn't break.
Nice.
Hilarious. But he heavily damaged it to the point it was no longer usable, and I had to later remove it with a pair of cutters. Dang. He also did a lot of damage to the shed door with the hammer claws. I awoke to the sounds of hammers and called the police after peeking out of my bedroom window and seeing someone outside hitting the shed.
Hope he can't catch a break.
Right? Though I didn't realize it was him at first because he had his face covered with a creepy looking mask. I bet it was like the fox, what is it? The one from the plays and stuff. And Money Heist. Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes. You know what it is. It's in like Les Miserables, I think, and the Money Heist. Look up Guy Fawkes masks.
It's in Les Miserables?
I might be wrong on that. I might be completely
it's
wrong.
It's in Les Mis?
It might be. I could be literally completely lying. But look up Guy Fawkes masks. You'll know. You're gonna see it. You'll be like, oh my gosh, yes. Boom.
Oh, V for Vendetta.
That yes. There we go. V for Vendetta. That's what.
V for Mandetta.
There we go. Sorry guys, I don't watch movies, shows, or plays apparently. So he saw the bedroom lights come on and chucked one of the hammers through my window. There was broken glass everywhere, and I'm lucky I didn't cut my feet on any of it because I was barefoot. Dude, he's freaking lucky the hammer didn't hit him.
Yeah, I mean,
dude.
Then the kid would have been charged for way more.
Then my nephew started beating on my back door with the remaining hammer. He did major damage, breaking the knob and the window on the door, and it also tore into the door itself with the hammer claw. I was worried the door wouldn't hold, so I yelled the police were on their way. And he took off before they arrived. His part of his work should be to be rebuilding everything in Opie's house.
Yeah,
that would be fire.
Yeah.
The night vision on my cameras showed it was him. He had a mask on, but he was wearing his high school hoodie as well.
You stupid boy.
Oh my God. As well as his Nike shoes that were pretty identifiable since his brothers don't have a pair like them. His fingerprints were also all over the hammer he threw at my window.
This is
Bro
sad.
is not a professional. Not a professional. My nephews had already all been fingerprinted when they were arrested the first time, so the police matched the ones on the hammer to him. When the cops came for my eldest nephew, he obviously denied it was him, but there's no one else it could have been. Officers, I swear, someone else has got my fingerprints.
They stole my Nike shoes and my
fingers.
My
hoodie.
I was trying to think of a fake high school name. James
Lakewood.
Madison High School hoodie.
Nice. Just name a president. That's
It's probably a
pretty
high
safe
school.
bet.
Yeah.
There's got to be one out there. The other hammer was found in his room along with the clothes and the mask he wore. Bro is looking like Luigi over here. It's not looking good.
They planted it.
They planted it. My own shoes, they planted it.
They planted my fingerprints.
They did. All of which were taken as evidence. The mask was of a Star Wars character I was told is called the Grand Inquisitor.
I don't know who that is.
We're looking it up. I don't know that one. This time, though, his parents did nothing to try to protect him. And they didn't try to pass the blame onto me either. They just let their son be taken away screaming. Oh, wait. I wasn't there to see the arrest, but I was told by my sister that my eldest nephew was switching back and forth from crying that he didn't do anything to screaming that it was all my fault and he had to get back at me. He had to. The boy had to go through a serious mental evaluation and was found to be potentially bipolar, which, like, honestly, at least good that the parents and him now know.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's such like their parents are lacking so much in their parenting that it got to the point where something that could have been easily diagnosable and like hopefully like they could have helped this kid it was put off for so many years because they refused to punish or do anything to this kid.
And you know, this, I'm sure there's amazing parents out there that didn't put two and two together to take their kids to be tested, but it's like observing your child's behavior.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that did do that. It's like, oh, something seemed very off, so we took them in because we're caring for our children. We're trying to figure out what's going on so we can help them.
But they refused to like even acknowledge that the kids were doing anything wrong.
Literally.
Yeah.
Doesn't really excuse what he did, though, Opie says. Later on, when he was properly diagnosed as bipolar, he started blaming everything he did wrong on that and acted like he should be vilified just for getting treatment for it. But he ended up having a month-long stint in juvenile hall. Whoa. They got my nephew properly medicated, and he pleaded guilty to forgo court again in exchange for more community service and mandatory counseling as well as probation this time. His dad came to my house and personally replaced the broken window and door, though he barely said a word to me while doing it. I still want oldest nephew to do it.
Yeah.
My two younger nephews are still excluding their older brother from pretty much everything, and he still hasn't apologized for attacking my home either. He's also unfortunately repeating a school year because of how badly his grades tanked, which his parents are still very unhappy about. My two younger nephews dropped by on their own in July just to apologize to me.
Wow, that's change. Well, I feel like now that they're not under the,
his thumb.
Under the thumb of their brother.
In the criminal worldwide organization.
Criminal syndicate.
Oldest Nephew Incorporated.
Yeah.
Firm. They said they always just followed their brother's lead and he made everything they were doing seem so fun, but the punishments for their crimes were not worth the kind of fun they were having. And they don't want anything to do with it anymore. They want their fun uncle back and asked if we could start over.
Whoa.
And
Opie's
I said,
frick no.
Frick no, you freaking nephews. Just kidding. Opie said, I said we can.
Oh,
we can do
nice.
it. But they'll have to earn back my trust, which they happily agreed to. Now, my eldest nephew had his 17th birthday a few months ago and basically got nothing. Not even a cake. It was part of his punishment for what he'd done.
Dang.
I can only imagine how much money he's cost his parents in this year alone. He led his brothers to steal from me and then destroyed my bedroom window and back door. I imagine in total with the lawsuit I'd previously filed and replacing both the door and the window, cost him over $1,000.
Ouch.
Not fun when it's not necessary.
And they have 3 kids and a mortgage, I believe.
They have 3 kids and a mortgage, and it's this time of year.
And it's this
whatever
time of year.
This is.
You know.
And we have 3 kids and a mortgage.
Honestly, any time of year.
Any time of year. And then doors and windows are not cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So meanwhile, my youngest nephew had his birthday a month after that and got a new mountain bike amongst his gifts. This really upset my eldest nephew, and he slashed the tires on the bike with a kitchen cutting shing device, which landed him in even more trouble. I know a thing or two about fixing bikes, so I went out and bought new tubes and tires for the bike and put them on it. So the bike is fine, and my nephew thanked me a lot for fixing it. My eldest nephew resorted to trying to run away because he wasn't being enabled anymore. He just walked out, got on his bike with a backpack full of stuff, and rode off. His parents quickly reported him missing because he left a goodbye letter that basically blamed me and his bipolar disorder for all his problems. In the letter, he stated that he can't wait till he's 18 to get away from us all. So he was doing us a favor by getting rid of himself sooner, but he came back 3 days later without his bike or backpack and looking beat up. He wouldn't tell anyone what happened. We still don't know, but he was chewed out for continuously using me as a scapegoat for his personal issues because blaming me was the first thing he did after he got back. Bro loves, he plays hot potato with that blame. He's just like, oh, not me, that's you.
He's
hot
like,
potato, hot potato.
You understand, it's OP's fault, and also my bipolar, and also it's that time of year, and I have a mortgage.
I have a mortgage and 3 kids. I'm 17 years old. It's not my parents, it's me. They were lying.
I'm 27 years old. I have no prospects, and I'm afraid.
But Opie says I didn't make him steal from me. I didn't make him attack my house. I didn't make him run away.
Conspiracy theory.
Talk to me.
OP's been behind it all along.
Whoa.
He's trying to get that insurance money.
Whoa. He partners with the oldest nephew to siphon out $1,000 of cash.
But he's sending like they're like anonymous, like if you choose to accept this kind of messages, and the eldest brother's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And OP's like, it's like what's that movie with the magicians? Now You See Me. It's like that.
I get it. Like it's guys, look, it's the real magic is coming together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John's seen it.
I did it. I watch movies.
You watch so many movies.
Thank you for the alley-oop, Sophia. I greatly appreciate that.
That was me doing an alley-oop.
Thanks. So that was all him, and he nearly ended up back in juvie for running off because he violated his probation. But he got off easy somehow. Currently, he spends his days pretty much in his room when not in school or doing chores or going to counseling. He finishes community service, but his probation will last at least until he's 18. He's got some lenience for being diagnosed as bipolar, but it couldn't get him off the hook. And believe me, he tried many times. Once they told him what was wrong with him, I became his excuse for everything, but plenty of people go their whole lives with that same mental condition and never do the kinds of things that he did. I've been mending things with my 2 younger nephews, but I don't want to be around the eldest at all. And the feeling is very mutual on his part. I've only seen him once in person the past few months, and he glared at me with more hate than I'd ever seen from anyone before stomping away. He can't paint me as the villain anymore without being called out on it, so there isn't much he can do other than just try and get through this. For the most part, he's totally shut down since school started. I'm told he barely speaks, even at school. My other nephews tell me he's getting laughed at and ostracized. Wow, so even the kids at school.
I'm worried. I wouldn't want that person around other kids.
Yeah, I think there at least needs to be a closer eye and more checking in and more communicate. Like
he's getting bullied at school, and we already know that he has a history of violence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that person around other kids.
Yeah, and his own mental health. Like maybe he needs
maybe just, I don't know, like is there another kind of institute kind of thing that he can go to?
Yeah, homeschool with you do like a lot of like just like hiking and stuff like that as like part of, I don't know, something, right?
It's dangerous.
I think we need to look into this more. Opie says, which I don't think is going to help him get better. My sister and brother-in-law are also not on the best terms with me right now as well, but they can't exactly put any blame on me either. They know it was all them and their own bad parenting. I basically forced them to be more active in their kids' lives, which they should have been doing already. They complain a lot about being tired from work and having to keep an eye on their kids. So whenever we talk as of late, it's always awkward and forced. They don't come to my house or me to theirs, but we do see each other at my parents' house, and our mother demands we be civil there, which I have no problem with. My 2 younger nephews have regained most of their privileges. They got their TV and video games back, but my eldest isn't allowed on them at all. I'm told he's got some electronic entertainment in his room, but what kind, I don't know. I just know he spends most of his time in there unless he has somewhere else to be. My eldest nephew is also not welcome pretty much anywhere in the family anymore. I've recently heard from my parents that they don't even want to see him on Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve this year because they are sick of his behavior and petty thievery. Real quick here, so just to talk on the topic we were just talking about, I feel like for his own good, I mean, look, the other members of the family, I guess you don't have any control over what they do, but like as the parents of the kids, as the sister and brother-in-law, I believe, I might like, how do we rehabilitate the eldest nephew?
Yeah, because
like,
he's just kind of on this downward spiral.
Yeah,
which is going to get a lot more dangerous. Yeah, the more he feels victimized.
Mm-hmm.
And like now that the whole family is kind of isolating away, or he's isolated from the entire family, not good.
Not a good look. And I feel like generally, like obviously sometimes, you know, punishments are good, but I feel like generally a like rehabilitation mindset with like everything, but like raising kids, like, okay, how do I get them to almost like feel like it's their idea? If he spends the time in the forest or whatever the case might be, does his other schooling program, whatever, can he like kind of come to this realization on his own? Much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Not pretending like that's just, you know, a snap of the fingers. But I feel like at this point, just communicating with him more, trying to find some of those just trying some of those avenues, I feel like is
finding
worth
an
it.
outlet.
What say you, Sophia?
I know, I agree. I think like obviously you want like a kid should have some sort of consequences for actions that are bad.
Yeah.
But when it's this type of kid, I think it's more dangerous for the people around him. If it continues this way, because this is not a solution. Yeah,
it's a good point because it really depends on like the kid and like what's their situation and everything. So that's what we think. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. I'm very curious. So I guess I can understand that, but even I feel it's a bit harsh. My sister and brother-in-law do as well because they are threatening to boycott if he can't come to either holiday. I can't stand that kid and would not want him on my home either, so I can understand why they've made that decision. But I don't think excluding him from everything and everyone is going to make him better. It's going to take a long time for my eldest nephew to mend those bridges, if they can be mended at all. The way things stand, he may try running off again once he's of age, unless last time scared him too much to try it again. Hopefully, things will get better for him in time if it's not too late to fix his behavior. I may not like him, but he's still my nephew, and I care. But I'm kind of powerless to do anything, so for now, the most I can do is keep my nose out of it and offer support where I can. Update number 3, and I believe that this is the very final update, which it exactly is.
Wow.
But yeah, Sophia, what are our thoughts going into this final update here?
I'm just really hoping they think of some way to help this kid, because him going back to juvie is not gonna do anything.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, juvie is not. From what I know, it's not really focused a lot on like reform. Yeah,
I could see
kind
it not
of the
being
scared straight kind of technique, which doesn't work for most kids.
Yeah.
It's just usually kind of a pipeline to prison later.
Yeah.
So I feel like that we really need to intercept this, as you said.
Yeah.
Because this is not working.
Like lean into the parenting more and like
parent your child.
Yeah, parent your child basically. Like just like communicate with him a ton. Like sit down and like have a conversation that's not you punishing them. You know, like how like just I feel like the more you do that, the more you will understand.
Yeah, say like
what's going on.
Why were you acting out this way?
Yeah.
You know, maybe it was before, but like was there any sort of triggers that you had that were because we heard that it was a sudden shift in behavior. Like it doesn't seem like this just you know.
Did we?
I thought that we heard that he like started acting out this year or something, but I might be wrong.
Possibly. It does. I think it did kind of at a minimum allude to a history of like just some maybe ne'er-do-wellish behavior, but they definitely should be like talking to him more. Ask him directly in a non-confrontational way, like not like, I'm punishing you, why are you doing this? It's like, hey, I'm like, I generally want to like sit down and like learn like what's going on and like how are you feeling, and was there something that triggered you and caused you to like feel these strong emotions that made you want to do this?
Yeah, not that always works with kids, but it seems like they're doing the like nothing. So anything is better than nothing.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So my eldest nephew got his front teeth knocked out at school and now is a shut-in. Oh, this does not sound good. I was hoping to have a better update for everyone after the holidays, but things didn't really get better. They started to and then went downhill again. It took some time, but everything is more or less okay now. I didn't post earlier because I thought it's better to wait. I wrote most of this months ago, but I decided to wait a little longer to see if the situation would improve, but then I waited too long and just plain forgot until recently. So here's hopefully the final update of the devil snake who tempted his nephews with a shed full of cans. I do a recap, but there's just too dang much for that. So if you want to know the rest, you have to go back and read it. To start this off with, last year, my sister and brother-in-law went to Thanksgiving at brother-in-law's house instead of my parents'. My eldest nephew wasn't exactly on his best behavior there either, but it didn't cause any trouble. At least that's what they told everyone. At least sister-in-law and brother-in-law also had a long talk with their parents about how excluding my nephew would not help his mental state at the moment. Glad they did that. That's good.
Good.
I also backed them on this because the way things were going, all my nephew would feel is hate. So my parents relented and let him come to Christmas Eve. I, of course, got him a gift, but because I wanted to help him mentally get better, in early December, I went out and bought him a metallic green mountain bike at the local secondhand store. Now, it needed a bit of work, but it was an excellent buy for $30. Wow, that is an excellent buy for $30. I also learned that since his good backpack was stolen, he's also using an old one that belonged to one of his brothers. I grabbed a used one at the same secondhand store for about $5. I fixed up the bike, washed the backpack, and when I presented both to him on a Sunday, he seemed completely shocked I'd give him anything.
See? He just needed a little bit of love.
He needs a little bit of love, guys. Just give him a
little bit of love.
So he seemed completely shocked I'd give him anything, and it also made him really awkward, but he took them both with a look and said, thanks. Again, I'm imagining like Goyle from Harry Potter taking it. He's like,
thanks.
Thanks. Thanks. Or Dudley when he was sucked.
Yeah.
When he beat up Harry Potter. Before the Dementor came in.
I don't think you're a waste of space.
I don't think you're a waste of space.
You're a waste of space.
You're not a waste of space.
I don't know how he does this.
And started using them right away to go to and from school like he did with his old bike and backpack. Oh, that's kind of sweet. My sister and brother-in-law were also pretty dang shocked I gave him gifts, let alone replace the stuff that was stolen from him when he ran away after he attacked my house with hammers. But the gifts had the effect I was hoping for. I was no longer the object of his rage. He had really been looking for any excuse to make me out to be the vile snake that ruined his life, but I'm not. When I next saw him, it was at a family Christmas Eve party, and while there, my sister and brother-in-law made him apologize for putting all his anger on me. They loomed over him in this like shadows while he talked to me. He was told to look me in the eye repeatedly, and after his apology, he admitted that it wasn't my fault. He was arrested. He egged me on, he stole from me, and he damaged my property, and he wouldn't do it again.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
Are we liking it?
Yeah.
We're liking it.
Seems like he's turning a new leaf.
Turning a new leaf.
Maybe.
We shook hands, and he didn't make any trouble at the party at all, but his parents were like his shadows the entire evening. They didn't leave him alone at all. They might as well have had him on a leash. It was awkward, but I can understand why. They'd put a lot on the line just so he could be allowed to come to Christmas. At New Year's Eve, things took a dive, though.
Oh, no.
My oldest nephew stole a bottle of champagne from his parents and drank it all fast while locked in the bathroom before anyone could stop him. Oh, dear. He'd asked for a drink of it prior and was told that he was too young, so he stole one of the bottles and chugged it. We didn't know this until then, but apparently he'd been stealing booze for some time after his arrest, and he'd kept a hidden stash somewhere that slowly ran out as he only touched it little by little and even sold some of it to other kids in the neighborhood. Oh man.
Okay, maybe not maybe he's like tilted a leaf.
He
hasn't turned over a
he hasn't
fully
turned it over, or maybe you know how you can like crack a little bit of it. You know, he's cracked and folded like a corner of it, but like the majority of it is.
It's still on the same side.
He didn't get into massive trouble. They just sent him to his room for the night after he stole the booze because he was just really craving it. Guys.
It's like, no, you don't understand. I just had a craving.
Parents.
I was going to sponsor, but I can't.
Oh, nice work. Good job. And it was New Year's. I'm lost for words with these parents.
And it was that time of year, John.
It was that time of year. They have a mortgage and 3 kids.
What do you want from him?
Let my kid chug the champagne. Anyways, his brothers admitted to their parents about his stash and showed them where it was hidden. It was a plastic tub in the crawl space under the house. When confronted about how he got all the booze, my 2 younger nephews admitted to following their brother's lead and stole only things like 1 beer at a time, or poured out some hard booze from its original bottle into another bottle little by little. And then the biggest bomb drop. They had been sneaking into other people's houses and doing the same thing all over the neighborhood.
How are they so good at this?
They should just honestly become professional, like international criminals.
Yeah.
Like there was that movie that Ryan Reynolds was in.
Oh.
Spy Kid. There we go. Spy Kids.
Oh, that Adam.
Yeah.
With the Walker Scoble. Is that his name?
Don't know who that is, but he had
Percy
like
Johnson?
he had like a big fancy house somewhere internationally, and they came in like, hey guy, we got one final crime for you. He's like, I'm retired in my big fancy crime mansion. Leave me alone.
Oh yeah, not what I was thinking of.
Yeah, you're thinking of the future one.
Yeah.
Adam. Yeah. Adam. Project Adam.
Project Adam.
Anyways, I remembered a movie. Be proud of me. So their way of breaking in was to look for unlocked doors and windows, no houses with dogs because they'd bark, and the youngest would crawl through the windows because he was the smallest.
This is an operation.
Too much of an operation. And then he'd unlock the doors to let his brothers in. They made sure not to steal anything big from inside the houses so they could come back multiple times.
Like your
wow. Pretty smart. I thought the brothers were done.
And Chad is saying, like...
I think they were. Sorry. What is Chad saying?
What were you saying? Think they were what?
I think they are done. Like the other 2 kids, I think this is just past stuff that they've done.
Right. Yeah, they're admitting to all the stuff they did. Yeah, in the past.
Yeah, it's a New Year's, so they have to admit to all of their wrongdoings.
Apparently, they got dude.
Mister, I'd like to apologize for all the things that I've done wrong this year. It's gonna be a long list.
You're forgiven.
Take me a while.
I watch movies, and this is the voice of the other person. It always goes back. Ladies and gentlemen. She loves the movie. No free sponsors. I would love to get sponsored by a movie, but soon come.
He is coming. That's a line from the movie.
What John has to work with, guys.
Chat. I'm trying to read the story.
I'm here.
Right?
Yeah, read it. Yeah,
I'm here for you to read it.
I'm trying to read the story.
Why aren't you reading
it? We're blasting AC on us. We're quoting every single line in the freaking script, the screenplay for Nosferatu.
Nights are scary.
Shush. So now they were just following their brother's lead, like they'd said before. Of course, the kids were in trouble for not admitting any of it until then. And despite trying to keep it secret, word still got out somehow. It confirmed some of the suspicions from the neighbors. Considering how good my nephews were at being cat burglars, you'd think they'd have been more mindful of cameras, or perhaps they'd just figured that old Uncle Yam would never get the cameras, aka OP. But after my nephews were exposed as thieves, and a few of me and my sister's neighbors got cameras too. The punishment for admitting how they stole stuff was minor for my nephews. It was kind of redundant for the eldest because he's still in trouble with being on probation and whatnot. Yeah, actually, as a kid, is there any like, you know how you can like, what is
Jeopardy?
When you snitch to get a lighter sentence?
Oh.
What the testifying your testimony?
Yeah.
There's like a word for it. I don't know if I'm like
I don't remember
witness
the word,
protection.
but I know what you're talking
witness
about.
protection. It's like
no,
something.
it's like you. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's like a specific
there a
word
term?
for it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just like, give us your testimony. We'll give you freedom.
Give us information and you'll
Give us the info.
And you
The
won't
rat.
go to the clink.
Go snitch on him. And he hadn't tried to steal anything else until he took the bottle of champagne. My brother-in-law started giving him lots of mint gum to chew on to help with his cravings because it was what he used to help cut back on drinking himself.
Whoa.
Guys, is there a history of drinking problems? Did he learn it from the dad?
Yeah.
What are we doing? I don't know. Send him to rehab.
Yeah,
Send
like
him
this
to
is
freaking
bad.
rehab.
He has an addiction.
He has an addiction. Like he's stealing.
Yeah.
Think about it. It's so bad he literally can't go out and buy it. So he's like, oh, what do? I have to go and rob from every house in my freaking neighborhood.
And I wonder if the money that he sold from all the cans and stuff, what was he using that money for?
True. I mean, it does seem like he's like foregoing like getting someone to buy it for him or whatever and then just stealing it, but like still so bad. And like, how are we not like, oh, it'll just give him some gum.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And it kind of helped. Brother-in-law also started keeping his booze, his drinks locked in a padlocked fridge in the garage. He suspects his son tried to get into it once. All that aside, things don't seem so bad until my eldest nephew got into a fight at school in February. I'm told that he didn't start it, but another kid picked on him until they started swinging fists. He got his 2 front teeth knocked out by the bully when he got his face slammed in the locker. Oh my God.
No.
There ended up being a reason for this attack. My younger nephews told me the older brother had a number of targets to pick on at school before getting arrested. So it's like he was the bully to those guys, and
now
then
they're like coming at him.
Now they're coming back after him.
Probably because he's on probation. So there's like they're like, oh, we can get away with
now, yeah, you got to be on your best behavior.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, right. I see. He was apparently the typical bully people picture when they think of one. He stole things from other kids, aimed on the small and the weak, smacked them around when no one was looking, and on more than one occasion used a small shing to stab bike tires. Oh, God, thank God it was just that. Remember, he did that to his brother's bikes, I think, too.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the big brother of a kid he'd previously picked on went after him, and that boy messed him up. Both of his front teeth were knocked out, and his nose was broken. Oh, my goodness. He had to be taken to the hospital, and an emergency oral surgeon had to put his teeth back, which also required special braces to hold him in place. His nose had to be reset, and he had to be put in a neck brace. The poor boy didn't want to be seen in front of anyone for months. No one pressed charges. Believe me, I've asked many times as to why not, but the other kid's parents paid at least half of my nephew's treatments for his teeth and nose through their insurance. I'm like, still press charges. You cannot do all. Yeah, like it's good to like stand up to a bully in certain senses, but not that. Not doing that. That is way over the line.
Yeah.
Way over the line. That's what they told me anyway. My sister and brother-in-law's health insurance sucked for covering the rest though, and they had a high copay. They didn't bother filing anything because I'm tired of these. Because they didn't want to be in court again, and the other parents only paid as much as they did because they didn't want to be sued. I contributed a bit to the cost too. I still had the $500 they'd given me in cash after I sued them and decided to give it back to them to help ease the cost a little. They won't tell me how much it cost to get my nephew's nose fixed and 2 front teeth put back in, but after that, I think they may have no savings left.
Well, yeah, they spent $500 for OP.
It's that time of year.
And then they probably spent, another $500 on all the legal fees. As John said, it's that time of year.
Yep.
They've got a mortgage. They've got 3 kids.
Yep.
And now they have to pay all this medical stuff.
Honestly, I think probably with my guess of deductibles, they paid, I'm going to say 6,000 to 10,000.
Yeah. Not
for
parenting
everything.
your kids is so much more expensive than parenting.
We could have just
If you had just parented them from the beginning,
parented.
they'd probably be bringing money in.
Right? Collecting cans in an ethical way.
Yeah.
Going to trash cans.
Cutting up those little cereal box tops, 10 cents.
We love a good box top. 10 cents.
You're gonna get a pizza party.
That's a gold mine. That's a gold
People don't
mine.
think about that.
Think, ladies and gentlemen, when you parent. That's the lesson of this episode. When I saw my nephew after the incident, his face was messed up and his front teeth were wired in place. He refused to return to school and did all his remaining lessons online with a school-provided laptop. The boy who beat him up, I was told, received nothing more than a 2-week suspension. That's not right. I'm sorry.
What?
No, that's not right. I won't deny it. I was upset, but But at the same time, I know this only happened because my nephew was a bully to other kids. What goes around does still eventually come around. But again, it's way too much.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was just like, or what? And, he's just like, oh, okay, I won't, I won't engage. Like, he legitimately really hurt him.
It also doesn't seem like this was a defense situation.
Yes.
This was prompted by past bullying experiences.
The exact situation wasn't
a defense.
A defense. Yeah, 100%, which I think matters.
Yeah.
We're in summer now. We're in a new season. Maybe
that time of year.
Who knows? And my eldest nephew is still a shut-in most of the time. He'll go out on bike riding alone for an hour or two.
It's nice that he has this outlet though that OP gave him.
Right? I really feel for him right now because he's learning to grapple with bipolar disorder. He's, not been parented well at all. So I think a lot of that contributes to, the way he would treat the other kids. Like he's probably trying to get validation by putting all of these other kids down to feel some sort of sense of self-security. He's freaking addicted to drinking like his dad at 17 years old. Like I feel for him. I really feel for him. There have been talks from my sister and brother-in-law of moving closer to his parents after their son's probation is up, and I don't blame them. Practically the whole neighborhood hates them now, so they want out as soon as they can afford it, which unfortunately may take another year or so just to pull off. But ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to wait a year, a month, or even a second to listen to full episodes of stories just like the one you're listening to right now. You know how they do that, Sophia?
You go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime.
It's so easy. It's so
easy.
But we're about done with this. God, story that sad story
that was almost getting better, and then
just got so much worse.
Someone pressed the leaf back down.
Yeah,
the leaf did not turn over.
The leaf they just blew the leaf
Flew
away. I don't know. What are some closing thoughts here, Sophia?
It just seems like everyone's failing this kid.
Yeah.
And obviously he's done a lot wrong, and that shouldn't be just it shouldn't be pushed aside because
it shouldn't be brushed under the rug.
Well, that is the problem.
Yes.
It's been pushed aside so many times. And I'm just hoping that this kid gets the help that he needs. Because I don't want him to progress to a point where he is a danger to himself and others more
100%
than what he already is.
Sophia Callan says, does he have therapy? Like, he should 10 million. I think they mentioned he was in counseling.
Yeah.
But, these parents really got to lock in. And again, like Sophia said, if they had just parented in the beginning and realized, I'm sorry, any rational human is like, oh, my kid is literally stealing from their uncle and like peeing all over their floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something's
wrong. I need to get involved. And I'm not even saying you have to bring down the hammer of justice and be super punishy, but we need to do something.
Yeah.
Something.
And it's really hard to do something this late. When you've let everything slide for so long and you've let it progress to this point, it is really hard to kind of be like, okay, we're going to put some punishments in place. We're going to put some guidelines and stuff because the kid has been getting away with stuff for so long, and so he's just not going to respect you guys.
Yeah.
So it is hard, but you need to do it.
100%. I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more. But let's close out this episode with this final part. Opie says, I have been spending more time with my two younger nephews, and they are doing a lot better now. They're more respectful and have been allowed back in my home. Nothing has gone missing, and I enjoy spending time with them, watching movies and playing games. They've become good kids too, and they're trying to make up for their mistake. On the rare occasion I see my eldest nephew, he is not cold to me anymore. He even brought his bike to me for repairs once, but he's a boy of few words now. Almost stoically silent these days. I do know that when he's 18, he wants to be far away from here. We've suggested trade school, and he's not against the idea. Beyond that, I've been doing my best not to overstep as an uncle. So that's it. After all this time, I may have nothing more to write here. Wow.
Difficult.
I feel sad.
Me too.
I feel sad.
Yeah.
The kid deserves better at the end of the day. He's dealing with a lot of things that I think stem from, the dad's drinking problem, maybe hereditary, at least setting the example, having bipolar disorder, no fault of his own. Like I truly think this is a case of a child who wasn't parented when he needed it most.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's that.
But my aunt was planning on leaving everything to me, then left everything to my sister.
I guess we know who's better.
My aunt and I have always been very close my whole life. She's been a mother figure to me. I remember being 5 years old when she called my mother to ask for my info to put me down as the beneficiary of something. I was too little to remember what exactly. My own mother was surprised at the time, and it has been expressed to me repeatedly over the years that I will inherit everything after she dies.
Awesome.
My aunt has told me this her whole life and how much she loves me. She has never had any children and she's always lived out of state. My family jokes were so much alike in many ways that I'm actually her daughter by birth.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's a funny joke. My other siblings were never close with her the way she and I have been throughout my life. I used to get to talk to her practically every day, and I'd visit her regularly in my adult life. By the way, this comes from user SnowObjections7464 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Back in November of 2020, she had a back surgery, and since COVID was going on at the time, they planned to discharge her a few hours after surgery. She only told me about a week before that she was getting this surgery and that she lied to the doctors about having someone to care for her afterwards.
Ooh, she probably doesn't have money.
Guys, don't lie to your doctors, people. She downplayed the whole thing and thought she'd be fine to look out for herself. As soon as I heard, I told her no way and that I'd care for her. So I booked a flight and I got there the night before surgery, ready to look after her while she recovered. She told me I was her power of attorney and that the papers were in her office along with her will should anything go wrong. She detailed where they were in an email which I still have today. I arrived the night before and what happened next, I would have never imagined in my wildest nightmare.
Oh no.
It still feels surreal and I have trauma about the entire thing. I took her home after surgery and she was in agony. I called her doctors and gave her her meds as prescribed and charted everything. She was in so much pain, screaming, it still gives me chills thinking of it. She kept asking for more and more painkillers, and I was seriously worried she was going to OD. And the doctors said she shouldn't have this much pain. In addition to that, I learned when I got there that she was on probably a dozen psychiatric meds, Adderall, multiple antidepressants, 3 different benzos, and an antipsychotic, among other things, for her mental health. I was very worried this was way too much and that it was doing something terrible to her. She kept waking up in the middle of the night and getting into her meds in the kitchen, taking stuff way too early while I was asleep, and I worried it could kill her. I decided to take all of the meds and keep them in my room for safekeeping so she wouldn't accidentally OD. That's a pretty scary situation. To also then find out that she's on like a dozen different meds? Whoa. It was clear at that point that she was mentally detached from reality, hearing and seeing things. She woke up again that night, and upon learning her meds weren't in the kitchen, she came into my room demanding them. I told her that she was going to OD and that she wasn't in her right mind, and she lunged at me in a rage. I seriously thought that she was trying to kill me. I gave her the bag full of drugs, and I texted her doctors and the practice of the home nursing contact we had that covered for me a few hours each afternoon. This was around 4 a.m. By 6 or 7 a.m., the nursing company owner was at her house, and we were both worried she wasn't in her right mind and would OD. When her nursing company owner asked for her drugs, she chased her out of the house, and me too. Right then, a police officer showed up. My aunt had called them on us, convinced we were trying to steal her meds. I explained what was going on, and they asked for my ID. My wallet was missing, and I later learned that night that she stole my wallet and ID. The whole thing went from bad to worse. I ended up in a hotel for a month attempting to get her help. She was paranoid and psychotic, hearing and seeing things, and thought I was trying to kill her. She even called the police on me one night, and there were 4 officers outside my hotel ready to arrest me.
Oh my gosh.
She told them I stole her car and debit cards and was having an affair with her male nurse, all of which was obviously untrue.
Oh, no.
She was back in the hospital multiple times, but kept getting out the next day. They couldn't hold her against her will. Whether I'd try to explain on the phone to the medical staff what was going on, they couldn't talk to me about any details. I told them I was her power of attorney and that she needed medical help and to keep her while she didn't want to be there. When they asked for proof, I looked for the documents and couldn't find the will or power of attorney papers in the office as she said they were. I reached out to her lawyer, who said she had connected with him a few months back to have a will made, leaving everything to my mother, who hates my aunt, by the way, but is nice to her face. But she never followed through and actually created the legal documents. Naturally, I began questioning everything in our relationship.
So these are probably her true colors, and she's been masking them a little bit while OP's been around.
After a month of trying to get her help and going through it, I had to return home. She was out of her mind. There's more crazy stuff that occurred, but I digress. For months, I got crazy voicemails from her threatening to sue me and calls from the police regarding her welfare. I was worried sick she'd end up homeless or die from an overdose. One call, she said she was dying and asked if I wanted anything in her will and asked me to call her. I felt this was more craziness and manipulation and didn't reply for my own mental health's sake. A few months after that call, I learned she finally made a real will when she was better and left everything to my sister, who doesn't really have a relationship with her.
Ew, she's just trying to spite you, dude. What the heck?
I mean, it's clearly this is like an mentally unwell decision.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it is just like spite and anger. Incredibly messed up. I think the last time my sister visited was 15 years ago. Incredibly, my aunt made a full recovery in the past year and is sane again and stopped taking a lot of the stuff she was on. Thank God. It's hard to know where the line of like this stuff is causing versus it's actually helping your problems in terms of like psychiatric medicine. A lot of the times I've had personal experiences with that where it's like, you know, people I know or like even myself like get on something and it's like, wow, things seem to be getting worse now. And then it's like you get off it and you're like, oh God, that's like, yeah, wow, everything's
life is so much better now.
Everything's way better now that I'm not taking this stuff. We began speaking again the last 6 months. Unfortunately, my industry laid off a ton of people and I found myself without a job for way too long. She offered to have me live with her and I recently moved in with her.
Oh, nice.
Whoa, that's got to be crazy after everything you went through. Like, that's kind of brave.
Yeah, very brave.
As soon as I moved in, she brought up the situation with the will and that I never returned her call, but that things would be divided among my sisters. I told her that I heard she left everything to one sister. She confirmed that this was true, but that she asked her to be generous with me in the notes. She said she recognized she traumatized me and she takes full responsibility for it. In my head, I was thinking, I mean, well, you're not dead. You could change it to legally include me, but given I'm living with her now, it felt like the wrong time to express that thought as I'm dependent on her goodwill until I find a job and whatnot. She's been very generous and kind and helped finance my move. So I'm trying not to get too bitter about her will situation. I feel a bit angry at my sister who didn't tell me she got everything. My mother informed me and I confronted my sister and she nervously confessed the papers just showed up in the mail one day. I asked if I was getting anything and she said my aunt left everything to her. So I don't believe this "be generous with your sister" comment my aunt said was in her will. Anyway, I feel guilty that I'm mad about this, but also feel conflicted too since she's not helping me out now. Yeah, it feels deeply unfair. It's not about the money, more so feeling lied and betrayed, and that this is some kind of snub and a power play. I went above and beyond to get her help and care for her when no one else did, and now I've been punished for my good deeds in a sense. My sister didn't stop her life to look out for her. I did. And I think it's crummy that my sister hasn't insisted with my aunt that changes be made. And I don't like that she kept this info from me until I confronted her about it. But by the way, I'm gonna confront you right now. You should join us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. All you gotta do is tap our profile. OP also said she had a relationship with her whole childhood where it was like she was like a second mother to her. So it's like,
wow,
who knows?
That's
very
tough.
hard to say.
Yeah,
but I think it's smart not pushing it now that you're relying on her like sort of
she's
good
power
graces.
hungry. Icky.
I hope it gets better for you. One voicemail claimed she was dying and wanted to know if I wanted anything after she was gone. I felt like it was a manipulation and didn't trust it. She ended up leaving everything to my sister instead, who doesn't have much of a relationship with her. I became unemployed and ended up moving in with my aunt. Oh, so this is all just like a recap. I'm looking out for her again while I'm here as she's older and frail. I'm grateful for her current support in living here now, and she's been kind, but I'm dealing with feelings of feeling snubbed and unfairly betrayed given what's occurred with the will and inheritance business. What should I do? Nothing? I'm feeling kind of heartbroken, to be honest, and that's the end of the story.
I would confront her and try and see if you can get, I don't know, just talk to her. Be like, hey, I understand you gave it to my sister, but I'm the only one in your freaking family that's talking to you. What's up with that? Why are we playing these games?
That's a delicate tightrope to kind of walk on, though, because it's like you don't want to make her feel like, I mean, everyone in your family hates you except me, so you might as well give me the money, because then that's gonna make her be like, what? Everyone hates me?
Yeah.
And you don't want to also press it too hard to be like, well, I'm the one who deserves to be in the will more than anyone else, because then it just, I don't know, that's always gonna come off abrasive. I think from everything we've heard, clearly you do deserve to be the person in the will. But anyway, that's the end of that story.
My husband found out my sister is queer. Now he doesn't want her around her kids.
That's not an ally.
Posting this to my profile because the original got removed. Me and my husband have been married for 9 years and have a son, 12, and 2 daughters, 8 and 6. I have a very demanding job and work long hours, so my sister watches our kids on weekdays because she works from home. By the way, this comes from Throwaway 7493629, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Keon.
And we are here to give some good advice, goofily, but we do not have all of your answers. We only would tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do down in those comments. Yes? As Opie says, the schedule is that I get the kids up and drop them off at my sister's house at 6:30 and then go to work. My sister feeds the kids breakfast and gets them to this bus stop. After school, the bus drops the kids off and my sister gives them snacks and helps with homework until my husband picks them up at 5. I get home from work at 6:37. My sister and I are very close and I'm extremely grateful to her. She loves and spoils my kids. She's basically like a third parent to them. I pay for all of her groceries, and my kids help her around the house in return. On Monday, I got an urgent call from my husband after he picked up the kids. He said that I needed to leave work immediately so I could come home to have an emergency discussion with him. I panicked and rushed home because he wasn't answering any of my calls after he hung up. When I got home, my husband proceeded to dramatically tell me that my sister was gay. Apparently, when he got to her house, her girlfriend was there and they kissed in front of him. I actually laughed when he told me this because my sister has been out since I was a teenager and her girlfriend and her have been together for 3 years. He is claiming that he thought her girlfriend was just her friend and that mentions of her being gay were just jokes. My sister's girlfriend doesn't come to a lot of family events because she travels for work and our family doesn't really talk about her being gay that often. Still, I can't believe that he wouldn't have figured this out in the 13 years he's known her. My husband said that he doesn't want her around the kids anymore because she will influence them and wouldn't explain what that meant. I told him that I wasn't going to cut my sister out and he said I could still see her but not the kids because they are too young. I asked what the heck he expected to do for childcare if we couldn't use my sister, and he suggested we take a week off work while we figure it out, which I absolutely cannot do. I didn't want to yell at him in front of the kids, so I said I was going to take a walk to calm down and we would discuss this later. When I got back, my daughters were crying and my son was upset. He told me that their father had told him they weren't allowed to see their aunt anymore because she was having personal issues. Dude, why would he just do that? She's like, you know what? I don't want to do this in front of the kids. I'm going to take a walk, remove myself. You just, make them dinner or whatever. And instead he's like, you can't see your gay aunt anymore. And they're like, what? And then she comes back to a whole catastrophe of emotions.
To him, this is making the situation better.
Yeah.
When clearly for him, maybe, but everyone else, way worse.
I blew up at my husband and told him that he was being bigoted and selfish and that I wasn't going to cut my kids off from their aunt who loves them because she was too stupid to notice that, or because he was too stupid to notice that she's gay. Then I packed the kids up and went to stay with my sister. I have no idea what to do. I love my husband and I don't want a divorce, but there's no way I'm going to cut my sister off. I can't believe my husband didn't know she was gay, but I don't know why he would lie about this. He's never said or done anything closet guarded before. I know I shouldn't have yelled at him like that, but I was furious that he said that to the kids. Any advice would be appreciated because I'm at a complete loss here. Oh, and there's an edit. OP updated the original post. So after reading the comments, I think that unfortunately you guys are right. This is so out of the blue that I was looking for reasons as to why he might not be a bigot, but I think he just is. If it comes down to him or my sister, I am choosing my sister. At this point, I am so upset with him that I don't know if I would take him back if he came begging on his knees. Oh, so you're done.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I would be too if someone was that close-minded and just unwilling to understand, or just, just to do that to your sister, but also to the kids, and then to you. He was like, no, there's no other way. She's no longer here to babysit the kids. We'll take a week off work to figure this out.
Yeah.
And you know what? You kids can no longer see her because of the way she goes about life is wrong, and it's bad for the kids. And what? Huh?
The fact that so he said that him and his sister have known each other for 13 years. So I'm guessing they've been together for 13 years, because why else would they know each other?
Even like for a year or like 2 years. This is like your sister, and she babysits the kids fairly often.
Yeah.
And like,
And
this
they
has come
love
up,
her.
Yeah, and this has come up many times. And he thinks this is just a joke? That's crazy.
Yeah. No, some people are completely blind. Like, it's really funny. I actually outed my friend to our coworkers by accident, because I just figured everyone knew he was gay. And when he left, I was like, oh yeah, like, it's weird, like, they have 3 kids and like 2 out of the 3 are gay, and but I think also, like, the other one is blah, blah, blah. And they were like, wait, he's gay? And I was like,
Oh, you're like, uh-oh.
I said, he has a nose piercing, his hair is like rainbow colored, and do you see his little lunchbox that he carries around? Like, are you kidding me? Like, he comes with his nails painted. Like, actually, like,
I would come up with my nails painted sometimes.
No, like got like fake nails, like acrylics.
Oh, acrylics?
Yeah.
I mean, like, to each their own, but yeah.
Yeah, but like, that's like, and also just him talking, just his voice is like, oh, okay. Like,
But he was already out?
yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. This was like in college.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, some people are just oblivious.
Yeah, and they were like they were like right wing Republican, whatever, like, guys, and they were like, what? And they were also like 60, 70, and I was like,
And they're like,
I don't.
I always liked that guy, but now I hate that guy
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
Just because you told me that. Now I hate that guy. I really liked him. He was really cool, but now I can't do that,
Yeah.
which is so stupid.
It's just like, no. He said what he said, and he can't take that back. To answer some questions, we don't really talk about politics because he doesn't really engage. I will mention something and he'll just respond, okay, or uh-huh. Our life has been so hectic lately that we don't have a ton of alone time together, and when we do, we don't talk about politics. We live in a pretty liberal area, and he's never expressed any right-wing beliefs to me before, so I never thought that he had any different views. My sister, being gay, doesn't come up that much. Her girlfriend isn't around us or our kids a ton, and my sister's preference isn't a top. And my sister's personal preference of people isn't a topic of conversation because it's just something that is. Like, she's gay, and that's that, so it doesn't really get discussed. I talked to my sister, and she said that they don't really interact that much. When he comes to get the kids, he will usually just say hello and nothing more. He's been ignoring my calls and texts, so I'm going to go over to our house tomorrow when I know he's home and have a discussion with him. I'll post an update. Thanks for all the advice. And there is an update. Well, I think that, I don't know. I mean, if now he's showing his true colors after having like 3 kids with him, it's like, ugh.
That's very crazy too, now that this is like coming to fruition now, especially since you live in a very liberal area, like you said, and like
he's never said anything to be like, oh, that's weird.
Has your sister, especially since you've known your sister for so long and she's been out since college, he said? Any pride stuff, like anything like that? Nothing came up. Did he also take that as a joke? I don't know.
Yeah, be like, guys, I'm going to the pride parade downtown. You coming? You're so gay. Like
what?
Like
I just, it's very odd how this was just, again, maybe it was just so oblivious to him, but maybe it was also oblivious for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where like, I just don't know how this didn't come up at all in this relationship before kids, before any of that. Like, I'm very intrigued on how it just didn't come up.
And for him to just like completely, like, even after everything that she's done for their family, for him to just be like, yeah, no, she's not coming over anymore. Like, what? That, if you didn't know, you would, like, and your kids would be the same as they are. and like nothing would like, it's not, I don't understand why people think that like just because I'm straight doesn't mean I'm gonna like talk my kids into being straight. Like, I don't know, like I don't force anyone to think anyway.
It's like, okay, like that should be up to your kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and if like they are some influence, then like so be it. I don't know, they're around her a lot, but it doesn't mean like she's like subliminally messaging.
She's hypnotizing them, like,
yeah,
you will start liking the same gender. You will start doing this. Like,
yeah.
Yes, I am a witch. I'm putting a spell on you. No, that's what he's looking at it like. But no, this is a terrible mindset to have. It's very close-minded.
Yeah. It's like, dude, I don't know, like, how long ago this was, but, like, I don't know. Get with the times. Grow up. Change your mind. It's okay. No one's going to be mad if you change your mind.
Yeah. Why are we hating?
Yeah. There's an update. This is an update to a post I made earlier. It got removed, but I posted the original text on my profile if you would like to go and read it. So it turns out a lot of you were right, and my husband was lying about not knowing my sister was gay. He wasn't answering any of my calls or texts, so I went over to the house when I knew he'd be there to talk. After we sat down, I said that the only way I would even begin to consider working this out was if he gave me the reason why he was suddenly acting like this. Agreed to go to couples and individual therapy to work on his hurtful views and apologize to me, the kids, and my sister. He started saying all the same stuff about my sister being a bad influence on the kids and not being in line with his moral compass. I got fed up and told him to cut the BS right now and tell me what was really going on, or I was going to walk out and he would never see me or his children again. I've never spoken to him like that because I think it rattled him because he spilled the whole story. Long story short, he's been having an affair for the past year. Now that I think about it, it makes sense. I thought that maybe he was pulling away from me, but I figured it was just stress from work and kids. He admitted that when he had to go into the office on weekends, it was just an excuse to see her. Sometimes he would take a half day at work to go and be with her until it's time for him to pick up the kids. In his words, he was neutral about my sister being gay until his girlfriend opened his eyes. Apparently, when he mentioned my sister to her, she was shocked and started sending him lots of podcasts and YouTube videos on the subject. For the past year, he's been falling down a right-wing rabbit hole, and I had no idea. He said that he knew I wouldn't accept his new beliefs, so he was forced to hide it from me. He also admitted that he's been wanting a divorce for a while, and not just because of the affair. After watching the videos and podcasts, he started to resent me because I'm not a traditional wife who stays at home to cook, clean, and take care of the kids so he can relax after work. He said that seeing my sister kiss her girlfriend was the final straw because he realized the extent of what his children were being exposed to. So he pretended to not know about it and made it this giant issue. In his mind, this was the perfect solution because he could finally make me see things his way and become a stay-at-home mom, or I would divorce him and he could come away looking like the good guy. Then he said he's going for full custody to protect his kids. I'm not super proud of it, but I flipped out at him. I would have too. I would have flipped the table on him. I called him a lot of names and told him that I'd be a cold day in heck before he even got 50-50 custody. I said if he wants to talk to me again, he'll have to contact my lawyer. Then I stormed out before I could smack him or something. In all honesty, this is a total nightmare, and I feel like I'm partially to blame. 13 years together, and I didn't notice he was changing overnight. I didn't think he was the type to get thrown into this sort of thing, but I guess he's stupider than I thought. I also never expected him to be a cheater either, so maybe I didn't know him as well as I thought I did. On the other hand, the comments on my last post have made me do some thinking, and I realized I was not very happy in our marriage. A lot of people were asking what we even talk about, and the honest answer is we don't. We started dating when I was 19, and he was my second ever boyfriend. About a year in, I remember I was feeling unsure about our relationship, and then bam, I got pregnant with their son. It all happened so fast, too. He proposed to me, and I said yes. We had never discussed marriage before, and looking back, I'm pretty sure I would have said no if I wasn't pregnant. We had a long engagement, but we were basically married right after because I moved in with him immediately to raise our son. God, I feel so stupid. I think I was pretty naive at the start of our relationship. I never thought to have any in-depth conversations about politics, family, and religion. I mean, you were 19, girl. You gotta give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Like, 19-year-olds are not really that smart.
Some are.
Some are.
But yeah, when you're still in the technical sense a teenager.
Yeah, you just graduated high school.
You're still, yes, you're an adult, but like when I was 19, I was just like, I'm gonna do like college kid stuff.
Yeah.
Like what was on my mind? College kid stuff.
Yeah. College. College stuff.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. So getting that backstory makes a lot more sense of how this never came up. But dang, it does suck.
I don't think that you're stupid, OP. I think that you were hopeful and you wanted it to work out because it seemed like he did too, and now it didn't, and that's not your fault.
No,
that's on him. He
does,
completely changed who he was. Like, what?
Yeah. And this was like your second biggest relationship, right?
Yeah.
I'm like giving you the leniency. It does suck. But yeah, no, please don't blame yourself for having, making the mistake. Like maybe you should have been brought up way sooner, but this is a learning curve and a learning process too.
I'm realizing now that I was mostly staying in the marriage because it felt easier than the alternative and better for my kids. I genuinely thought he was a good man and father. Now I'm remembering tons of different moments in our relationship that I brushed off and fights we had that all add up to a bigger picture. I think part of why I've been so frazzled and exhausted lately is because he was literally doing the bare minimum and leaving me and my sister to pick up the slack. I don't regret the marriage because it led to my kids, but I regret not seeing everything sooner and getting out. Right now, my kids are my number one priority. When I got back, I sat them down and we had a long conversation about their father, his views, and LGBTQ plus rights in general. I made it very clear that I would support them no matter what. I am also looking at getting all three of them in counseling to help them deal with this. We are temporarily staying with my sister while I sort out the divorce. We have separate bank accounts, but I need to figure out how to sell the house because I don't think I can afford it alone, and he definitely can. There are some townhomes opening up in my sister's neighborhood that I'm gonna try for so my kids can walk to her house. My sister has been so supportive during this entire ordeal. She and I had a long talk about everything with lots of hugging and crying. I feel awful for bringing a bigot around her, and I don't think I can ever repay her for all of the help and love she has given me and my children. She and her girlfriend have been helping out with the kids and the divorce stuff. Since her girlfriend is currently in town, I decided that I wanted me and the kids to get to know her better. So this weekend, we're all going to the museum and hopefully can take my kids' minds off everything. By the way, we can take your mind off of all your real-life troubles by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime. There's a little bit left.
Good for you, OP.
Yeah.
No, like I know it's a tough situation, and you're navigating this the best you can, especially for you and your kids. I think, one, getting counseling for your kids, great. I think for you as well would be beneficial, but shout out to your sister, shout out to your sister's girlfriend, and them understanding the situation and letting you stay over and helping you out when it, in the time of need and getting you away from your now soon-to-be ex-husband.
Yeah, I think this, even though it's a horrible situation, it's all going to be for the best because you don't want your children growing up in that environment. I think your children are going to benefit so much more from being removed from him and all of his, new ideals and moral compass, whatever. Let's finish it up. What I'm most worried about is custody. I don't want my soon-to-be ex-husband and his girlfriend anywhere near my kids, but I'm not totally sure what to do. He's still their father, and I don't want to keep them from having a relationship. I'm going for full custody, but should I ban him from seeing them entirely? My son and older daughter are very upset with him. My son doesn't want to see him at all, and I'm not going to make him if he doesn't want to. I'm sorry that this is long and I kind of rambly, but it feels nice to get my thoughts down. This whole situation has been overwhelming, so again, any advice going forward would be greatly appreciated. I might update in the future after everything is settled to let you guys know how things are going. But in the meantime, I would like to thank you all for the helpful comments and messages. And that's the end.
My doctor illegally exposed my medical information. It made my family turn against me.
Who's this doctor and why are they still doctoring?
My oldest sister's lifelong best friend has been my doctor for a couple of years. Initially, my doctor, Dr. A, was a colleague of hers from the same clinic, but after my doctor, Dr. A, was away on maternity leave, I temporarily switched to my sister's friend, Dr. B, as my primary physician, and it's been that way since the pandemic began, and I never switched back. By the way, this comes from Jukebox Rocks on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I have ADHD and get prescription meds for it, and have been for a few years now. Something I haven't shared with any of my family members for fear of backlash, since I come from a long line of type A overachievers who don't believe in ADHD and write it off as laziness.
Oh, brother, do I have news for you. Why don't you spend an afternoon with me?
Yeah. A few days ago, my siblings and I were hanging out at my sister's house watching the Matthew Perry, Diane Sawyer episode where he shares his history with substance about, and I made a comment about how skinny he looks during one of the seasons of Friends. My sister then, out of nowhere, says to me, well, it started with prescription medication, so I hope you don't get hooked. I was initially gripped with a feeling of absolute horror. My other siblings were confused and looking at her for further clarification, but she didn't say anything more. I spent the whole night just frozen and with a deep pit in my stomach. Later, when I found some time alone with her, I had to pry the information out of her. She had just gotten back from a girls' ski trip and they were extremely wasted. Her friend, my Dr. B, slipped up and mentioned that she saw me recently for an increase in my dosage and basically revealed to my sister that I have been taking prescription Vyvanse for a few years now. I am so livid. I fear utterly betrayed and have a strong urge to report her for breaking HIPAA regulation. HIPAA relation.
I thought I was going to be so firmly against that doctor, but now I just, of course she shouldn't have said that, but it's not like she was out here like, yeah, well, they're taking this and it's for that and blah, blah, blah. She was just like, oh yeah, I saw your sister recently. She came in and get more Vyvanse or something.
Right.
Just a complete one-off drunken sentence.
It's
not even thinking about it.
It sucks because it's like, it wouldn't be so bad that the doctor did that if the family wasn't so bad, you know?
Right, yeah, exactly.
That wouldn't really be a problem.
Ugh.
My sister won't stop texting and calling me about it, literally all day long, begging me not to ruin her friend's life forever after years of hard work. She's obviously worried about losing her friend, but she couldn't care less about how disrespected I feel and how my privacy was violated. And more than anything, I worry that my sister will share it with my parents and my family will never look at me or my achievements the same. So, to add a little more info, I've known Dr. B my entire life, as long as my sister has. She was my sister's friend since they were in first grade, and they've remained close, and we've hung out with our families on multiple occasions over the years. We've gone on trips together, including my sister's bachelorette. I always looked up to her and found her cool growing up. She and my sister both have kids around the same age, and they're close as well. She currently brings in the bigger chunk of the income in their family, and they rely on it, and my sister keeps reminding me that I'm also ruining 2 innocent children's lives in the process, which is the only thing I feel guilty about. I adore those kids, and they don't deserve that. But I also cannot get over how betrayed I feel. I always keep a safe distance between personal and professional relationships and would have never picked her to be my doctor had the circumstances not unfolded the way it did. She was the next best doctor and was the obvious choice because I wasn't really looking to switch to a new clinic during the pandemic. So we have some relevant comments. OP on her sister's personality. Dr. B doesn't know that my sister told me yet. So far, it's just been conversations between my sister and I. She's making it seem like they were so sloppy wasted that it was a slip up and a complete one-time total accident, but I don't understand why that would even come up at all and don't believe that. My older sister flaunting sensitive info about my siblings and I is a tale as old as time. When we were kids, she would hold on to a secret she found out about one of us till the perfect moment and would thrive on dropping the bombshell to our parents during a road trip or in the interval of a great movie and ruin the entire thing. It was her thing, and I fear she hasn't fully gotten over that habit as an adult. I feel like we've seen that, though. She did that in front of everyone, pretty much.
Right.
A very slight mention, but it would raise some eyebrows. My older sister considers herself our parent, too, and has always narked or used stuff as leverage against us. I used to fear her growing up and would hide my journals at my friend's house because she would snoop. Definitely lacks empathy. But we do have an update. Okay. Wowza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a lot to have, like,
responsibility wise, I know chat, everyone's flaming me right now because I was like, I'm not saying she didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying she didn't violate HIPAA and she can't be sued or anything.
Right.
But it's like,
It's a little more complicated, it feels.
well, yeah, it's really gray. Like,
Yeah.
because you're blowing up someone's entire life. They have kids. You're blowing up those kids' lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you're not doing it. She did it when she said your medical information out loud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
yeah, true.
It's just it's a lot of responsibility to be put in your hands where it's like you're now essentially responsible for the trajectory of 3 different people's lives.
But we do have an update 3 months later. Thank you for all the advice and support on my original post. After reading the feedback, I reached out to a close lawyer friend for advice as well. And he, like most of you, agreed that I should report it and to do it without informing anyone else. He said it was better for me to do it sooner to have it on record. They prefer any complaint to be filed within 180 days of when you knew that the act or omission complained of occurred. 2 days after that, I reported to Dr. B to OCR for violating HIPAA and Patient Safety Act and breaching my fundamental right to health information privacy. I didn't tell my sister or anyone else, but a few days later, I saw my entire family when I went home for the holidays. I haven't heard anything back yet on my complaint, so I wasn't sure if Dr. B was aware yet, let alone tell my sister that I had reported her, so I didn't say a word. Turns out that wasn't my biggest issue at that moment, though. My sister had already told my parents that I was on an extremely high dose of controlled substances. I knew that my parents wouldn't take this news well, but they were far more upset about it than I could have imagined. My dad doesn't believe in ADHD and thinks it's merely an excuse for those that allow themselves to get easily distracted, especially since the age of social media. He even remarked that he noticed that I was quite slow with my responses since dropping out of my chess club. Really absurd and offensive comments. I can't even remember a lot of it because I was frozen. I just sat there, nauseous and livid, with tears in my eyes, just listening to the 3 of them. My parents and sister take turns going off at me. My mom wanted me to stop all medications immediately and that I'm better than this and smarter than this, and even threatened to tell your professors that you're on substances if you leave us with no choice. But when she said that, it hit me. I had a choice. I could choose. I could choose to never have to deal with this again and to not let them treat me this way anymore. So I did.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was exactly what my take was going to be at the
Yeah?
end. I was going to be like, oh, P, did you ever consider that you actually didn't have to sit there
Right.
and get reamed by your entire family
Right.
over something that they don't understand?
Yeah.
You could have just gone up and said, I'm actually not going to take this.
Yeah.
You could have left.
Exactly.
I'm glad you know that now.
Exactly. I chose to say nothing and allowed them to interpret my silence as agreeing and submitting to their ways, as I have done so many times before. And then I went to my room, chose to book a flight and pack up most of my stuff. My books would need buses of their own to be transported anywhere. The next morning, I chose to call an Uber a few hours before my flight while they were still asleep and flew back to my university. Look at that. Now she is doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I choose me. In January, I found out that Dr. B had prior complaints from patients against her, and my report had opened an investigation that is currently ongoing. Whoa! So you
Damn.
can't even feel bad about it because it's already going to happen one way or another.
She was already a bad doctor.
Oh my gosh. She's been placed on temporary leave till the case is resolved. I can't share more details on that for now, but I will come back and update once it's done. And we do have some relevant comments.
Let's go.
Commenter number 1 says, I also have ADHD and I studied neuroscience partly because I wanted to understand. I also come from a family that thinks like OPs and I got the same BS from them all my life. We now finally come to be able to make ADHD visible in MRI scans. What? That's so cool.
That is cool.
And predict the presence of symptoms with an accuracy of up to 80%. We can make visible the ways ADHD brains are different from normal brains, not in their structure, but in the way they make use of it. We can see where our bodies use more oxygen and neurotransmitters, and ADHD brains are visibly different from normal ones in a way that is congruent with the symptoms. We can even tell apart the inattentive type and the hyperactive type with an accuracy of up to 75%. This is
Ooh.
crazy. I want to get an MRI scan, see what's going on up there.
Ooh.
See where my ADHD is showing
I
up.
feel like I've got inattentive.
Me too, for
Yeah.
sure. People who say ADHD patients are lazy and their symptoms are their own choices and a character flaw are as ignorant and backwards as someone still believing that the flu is caused by bad air or cancer is God's will. If this family is so smart, they are doing a really good job at remaining ignorant. With all the evidence out there, they have to really choose not to read and educate themselves and become advocates for their child and sibling, but instead actively avoid the newest scientific evidence that their opinion is stupid and they have been crappy people all along. OP, it took me 30 years to make the step that you made. Kudos on being so brave and mature while still being in college. I'm still trying to come to terms with self-doubt, imposter syndrome, and depression. If you can afford it, do some therapy. Growing up in such a negative environment takes its tolls even after you cut ties. I'm proud of you.
Yes.
The hurdles to get where you are today were huge, and you did it all by yourself. Never forget that. Here's an article about it. I want to know that article. This is just a small study in China, but they are happening everywhere, and they all come to the same conclusion. OP responds, I have tears in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, that was a good comment.
That really was. I really needed to read every single thing that you typed out here. I'm so tempted to send this to my family, but I don't want to interact with them right now, so I won't. I love science just as much as they do, and studying physics brings me so much purpose. I just know I need some help in staying ahead of my course and completing my assignments, and I'm finally okay with that. OP continues, in the short time that I've been away from my family, I felt so much more freedom in accepting who I am, that I'm still smart and capable, and that I will still become a scientist, even if I do it my own way, and I am okay with the fact that my family doesn't approve of my choices. If they can't be bothered to listen to me, let alone attempt to learn anything about my diagnosis and try to be there for me, they aren't worth worrying over. I have spent far too much of my life doing that already. I have no more time or energy to give to that anymore. I'm channeling all of that towards me, achieving my goals, and healing my trauma. Thank you for listening and for sharing. I am so grateful for you. And OP comments on her family. It's their whole image. We come from a long line of scientists, and many of my family members have a PhD. And as far as I know, none of them have been officially diagnosed like I have, or maybe they struggled with it secretly, but their work ethic and achievements are everything to them, and they would never reveal anything that would show otherwise. It's the way we were raised, and I didn't know anything else for the most of my life. Anyone who couldn't pay attention was distracted in their eyes. Nothing more. Commenter number 2 says, sad thing is, I get the feeling that you could show all of this to OP's family and it wouldn't make much of a difference. OP responds, it wouldn't. You're right. I considered it for a second, but you are so very right. I was seriously so blind for years. All I wanted was to be good enough for them. Therapy is now making me realize so many things. It's so bittersweet. My heart aches. And we do have another update.
Oh, 3-week update.
What do we think about those comments? Those were some good ones.
There was that first comment I really liked.
Yeah.
I see a lot of discourse going on in the chat.
Right.
Overall, it's like if your family is the kind of family who's like, we don't even believe in like mental health disorders in any way.
Yeah.
It's just it's a character flaw.
Yeah.
Which is like, I've had to deal with my own processes of getting through shame and guilt and, because it's not helpful at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when you're reinforced with that, you're actually just lazy. You're actually just distracted. You're just bad. You're just wrong.
It really eats away at yourself.
It reinforces those negative loops.
Yeah. Yeah. And you really internalize it, and it just makes it all so much worse.
Yeah.
So much worse.
So it's good to be out of there.
Yeah.
It's good that you don't care. You don't have to worry about these people's opinions about how you're living your life. Just worry about getting good grades in college, setting yourself up for a nice career.
Exactly. But we do have a second update. 3 weeks later. The worst part about going no contact with your sister, missing out on getting to hang out with your niece and nephew. Oh. I don't know how many of you have actually gone no contact with your family, especially to the extent that I have currently. But I'd love to hear any advice you might have. At this point, I don't have any form of communication with my parents and older sister and haven't since December. The most awful part about this whole thing is my inability to reach out to my youngest niece and nephew who I'm so close to. Every year I receive a Valentine's Day card from them, and this year I got none. It's incredibly lonely, and I don't wish this on anyone. I'm always wondering why they think I haven't called them. As much as I'm growing and healing from this, I'm also dealing with a lot of trauma, and it's rough. And there are some more relevant comments to that.
Definitely get some therapy to help with that.
Yeah,
for
therapy.
Real, for real.
It's
a lot to work
it.
through.
Yeah.
You're so young.
It'll
you're
take
so
time.
cool.
Mm-hmm. OP comments on learning about herself. I think it's so hard for me right now because for years, so much of what mattered to me was getting approval and being good enough for my family, especially since they're all overachievers and place a lot of value in academic excellence, and to feel no support from them at a time when I could really use it. I've never felt so alone and just out of place in this world. But I'm also learning a lot about myself and how codependent I was and relied too much on their opinions to ever even form strong ones of my own. So the bright side to this is figuring myself out. And OP on losing her sister, I've been having an extremely hard time the last few days dealing with this. I'm also looking forward to when I can say my life is much healthier and happier without my sister. I know it will come, but right now I'm just experiencing so much sadness as a younger sister who looked up to my sister so freaking much. All I wanted was to be good enough for her to be proud of me or think that I was worthy of her time and attention. But I'm not, and coming to terms with that is brutal. Commenter number 1 says it really is like grieving the death of a loved one. Therapy helps, having support helps, and being kind to yourself helps. For me, a big issue was second guessing myself. Maybe I'm blowing these things out of proportion. I should just apologize again. Those thoughts were hard to get past. OP responds, I'm having those exact thoughts. I'm currently in therapy and it's not easy. It seems like so much of the affection I thought I felt from my family wasn't real at all, and most of it in my head. Thank you for sharing with me. It might not seem like much, but it really does help to know that there are others out there dealing with similar situations. It is so hard. Commenter number 2 says, could I make a suggestion to you? Create an email address for them, something like ilovenephew@gmail and iloveniece@gmail. Then email them every time that you would have sent a card or reached out. Send emails that say, Happy Valentine's Day, I miss you guys. Hey, I saw pictures or heard through the grapevine that you did this. That's awesome and I'm proud of you. This reminded me of you today and I wanted to share. I would have the first email to the account be this is what happened between your mom and dad and I and why I'm no contact. It was never about you guys and I'm always here when you're ready to contact me. That's a cute idea.
Yeah.
Then when they're old enough to decide for themselves, maybe 18, maybe earlier or later, depending on circumstances at that point, you can give them the password. OP responds, this is a wonderful idea and I might actually do this. It feels like a good way to express my feelings without bottling them up. Thank you. OP comments on trusting herself. It feels so awful to know that they don't really have your best interests at heart, and it's a very raw kind of pain. But you are right. I do feel more confident in my decision as each day goes by, and I know I did the right thing. And guess what, Dakota? We've got another update. Oh. All right, update number 3.
Hopefully it's more positive.
Hopefully,
because
man.
this is right after it happened, and now it's like,
yeah,
you're gonna be really emotionally raw after such a big kind of change or upheaval in your family life. So it makes sense. But as you get more time in between when it happened and where you're at now, it's probably gonna be a lot easier to cope with, especially after you see positive changes happening in your mental health.
Right.
You know,
because you know you made the right decision in the long run,
and you're not carrying a lie anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Carrying that lie forever gets real heavy after a while.
Oh yeah. So update number 3, 2 weeks later. Thank you to every single person that has commented, reached out via DM, or shared any advice with me. My ADHD and current anxiety has me extremely overwhelmed, so please excuse me for not being able to respond to each of you individually. I get quite a few questions every day about any update with the case. I'm not sure how many of you are still finding this post, but I really appreciate everything you've said to me to help me get through this. I'm sorry I can't answer any questions right now. Please know that once I have enough to share or any real information, I most certainly will, but for now, there isn't much. The only thing I can share is that I'm currently working with an attorney well-versed in HIPAA violations who is handling the matter on my behalf. We have received a notice regarding the outcome of the investigation from the OCR, which I am not allowed to share yet. I'm not sure if we, along with the other patients who faced breach of privacy from the same doctor, will be suing, because that's usually the most unlikely outcome since it almost always falls on the employers rather than the doctors, I've been told. We might proceed with the civil claim. There's a lot of bureaucracy involved and it seems quite complicated, so I don't have a timeline on what to expect yet. I'm just grateful to have a lawyer that knows what they're doing. Thank you for your support. It's been the most hardest and loneliest period of my time, and your kind words help me get through it. And we do have some relevant comments. Commenter number 1 says, hey, it sounds to be a good update so far. How did the situation with your family turn out? Did they contact you? I hope you're emotionally okay and have time to heal. OP responds, my mom has tried to contact me a few times, but I haven't answered. My dad and sister haven't. I have checked in with my other 2 siblings a few times when I've just been so incredibly lonely that it feels like the world is ending. I am not emotionally okay at all. I am going to therapy and getting help for it, but processing trauma is a very hard and painful process. I can't explain to you in words how it feels to have a stranger make you realize that your family has never loved you at all. As much as my older sister was a bully to me, in some twisted way, she was my idol growing up, and all I wanted was to make her proud of me. I never felt worthy of her time or attention back then, and never did even as an adult with many achievements. And to know that she would pick her friends in a heartbeat over me, it really was such a painful stab in my back. I know things will get better. I feel it in waves. I am finding confidence in things every day. And we have another update.
Let's freaking go.
Update number 4. I just found out that my family cut me out of their insurance plan and I no longer have access to health coverage, including my prescription meds for ADHD or therapy, both of which I really need right now. What are my options? Oh, wow.
Ooh, dang. Well, that's kind of, dang.
Wow, that is
Wow.
a really aggressive approach on their end.
Yeah, your parents suck a little bit more now.
They don't want their insurance to be covering your medication. Dude, do what you can to send them that MRI information. Try your best to convince them if you can. I know that's like a lot of heartache, but like, I mean, this is affecting your health at this point.
Yeah, dude, that's a terrible like FAFO moment.
Yeah.
Let's F around and find out if you're not familiar with
I
that.
was not sure. I'm a full-time student under the age of 26, and my health insurance so far had been included in my family's plan under dependent coverage extension. A few months ago, I went no contact with my family after they found out that I was on prescription Vyvanse for my ADHD, something they absolutely do not believe in, and they refused to support me. I haven't been able to get my meds this month, and it has been awful. Since I study full-time, my only means of income is a part-time TA job on campus, which is currently on hold since the semester has ended, and some tutoring I do during my very limited free time. I'm struggling and on the verge of a mental breakdown and could use any advice I can get. What options do I have to get some health insurance or any assistance whatsoever? Sorry if this has been hard to read and my eyes fill up with tears anytime I try to type this out. We do have some more relevant comments. What QLE did they use to drop you? Is one not required on the marketplace plans to experience a life event to drop an enrollee mid-year? OP, dependent no longer eligible because of full independence is what I was told. I am currently involved in an ongoing lawsuit due to HIPAA breach by my doctor. It's caused a major rift between my family and me since the doctor is the best friend of my older sister. Hence the no contact and probably why they did this. Commenter number 2 says you will most likely be able to get Medicaid. Do you have a local department of social services that you can go to? OP responds, would I be able to qualify for Medicaid independently even though my family has a high disposable income? I am financially independent, but have been on their plan my whole life until last month. I've reached out to a few that were recommended by a university, but since my official address is out of state where my parents are, I'm having to get that sorted first. Commenter number 3 says, make sure that they're not claiming you as a dependent on their taxes still, but generally, yes, it's not based on your family's income since you're not a minor and don't live with them. OP responds, I hadn't even considered this. I need to look up how to check if they're claiming me as a dependent. Thank you for pointing this out.
Well, I assume they can't if they've taken you off of their insurance on the basis of independence. You can't then claim.
They can't be a
dependent on your taxes.
You think?
I would assume.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how that
again,
works.
I don't know. And that
I don't know if they would fact check each other.
Qualifying life experience. It's like a reason why, which would probably be them being like, she came over and she smashed all our windows and said, I hate you all.
Yeah, they could just their word against hers.
Which is not what happened. Well,
Yeah. Update number 5, my final update. Farewell and thank you for your support. I hope you read this. Hello, everyone. I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of you who have reached out, offered advice for a safe space for me to be heard, and providing unwavering support during my time here. Your kindness has been a guiding light in what has been the absolute darkest time of my life. I was so incredibly lonely after making the difficult decision to go no contact with my family. However, amidst this awfully painful period that I wouldn't wish on anyone, I discovered a newfound sense of belonging provided by all of you, compassionate strangers of Reddit. To those of you that were proud of me, I cried a long cry for every single time I read those words, and I will carry them with me till the very end. Science is my purpose here. I will rise again and hopefully help change this world for the better someday. By the way, you can change our world by checking us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. We've got full episodes of stories just like this one. Just
Full of stories.
Okay, story time. That's all you gotta search.
All you gotta search, and then bing, bang, boom, the world's in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, we've changed your life. You're freaking welcome. But there is a tiny bit more to the story. Do we have any final thoughts?
Just roll into it. I got all the same thoughts I had before.
Me too. As I embark on a healing journey, I've decided to take a step back from here. As someone navigating ADHD, I can sometimes become overwhelmed with the feedback. Therapy has taught me the importance of focusing on my mental well-being, and given the financial challenges I'm facing and ongoing legal issues, I will be working 2 jobs to make ends meet and afford the healthcare and stability that I need while I'm off from school. I cannot express how much your support has meant to me, but at this time, I must prioritize my responsibilities and take care of myself. Till I'm back, I want to leave you with a quote that resonates deeply within me. Pass on the kindness of strangers, for they have the power to mend the broken and inspire the lost. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for becoming the family I needed when I felt most alone. May your lives be overflowing with happiness, love, and success. Take care. Oh, wow.
What a saga! We
What
did
a
it.
Sweet. How
She
sweet.
did it.
She did it.
We did it.
She did that.
We have collectively done it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah.
Oof. I mean,
That's
still a lot to go through,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's looking
We're on the right path.
better.
We're on the right path. And someday, I'm sure she already feels a little bit grateful for this happening. But someday, once all the like grief of it has passed, she'll feel really grateful that she did this for herself. And yeah, consider her life changed.
Boom.
I think she already knew that though.
Changed life.
Changed life right ahead of us. But yeah, that's the end of the story. It's at the
that's
end
a lot.
of the
There's a
episode.
whole lot.
My sister destroyed my plant, so I banned her from my house.
That plant was important to you, and don't let your sister get away with that.
How dare you? Me, 26 female, and my husband, 27 male, have a daughter, 6 female, who we have recently been trying to teach more responsibility to. We decided we didn't want to get a pet, even a goldfish, because it was unfair if it unalived, and after some thinking, we brought up the idea to have my daughter of growing her own plant.
That's smart, honestly. You're still having to take care of something.
It's a good responsibility.
and it needs a lot of work and effort put in, but also, it's not the end of the world. if
You
it
can
does.
teach him about photosynthesis and be a green thumb.
Yeah, it's cute. I like it.
That's a good idea. I think I'll do that in my future.
Yeah, I had a couple goldfish and they all died.
My daughter was thrilled with the idea, so the next day we took her to get some seeds. By the way, this comes from user throwaway29105 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. She chose sweet pea seeds and took to caring for her plant better than we expected. It grew really quickly and was thriving quite well considering the tools she had. And soon she was showing a strong interest in gardening, like I said.
I love
Get that green
this.
thumb.
Yes.
Nice. We started calling her Sweet Pea. Aww. Important later because of her project, and every day she tells us of the news with her plant. Recently I got the news that my grandmother had passed away and we had to fly out to her funeral.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Very sorry. My sister, 22 female, never talked to her and didn't want to attend the funeral. So I decided to ask her to look after my daughter's plant while we were out for the week. She agreed, and we brought the plant over. My daughter kissed it goodbye and asked her to please take good care of it. Can you imagine a 6-year-old like, please take good care of
my plant.
Please take good care of my
I'm
plant.
terrified.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna kiss her- Let
terrified.
me give you a kiss goodbye. Oh my god, she put in
I'm so sad.
she put in so much work into this
No.
sweet pea. My sister said she would, and I thought everything was fine until we got back. When I went to get the plant, my sister said, "Oh yeah, I completely forgot about
I
that,"
hate you.
and laughed.
I hate you.
You literally saw a 6-year-old
Son.
kiss it goodbye.
I'm throwing you in the sun.
Yeah, learn
You're
about
the worst.
Yeah, so you can learn about photosynthesis.
I hate you.
You literally saw a 6-year-old kiss it goodbye
So
and
for these-
asked
and
you.
then you had to the audacity. It wasn't even like, oh my god, I forgot. It was oh my god, I forgot about that.
Like, it's a plant, right? We can get a new one.
You're done.
She brought the pot out and the stem was somehow snapped and it was wilted. My daughter ran crying to the car and I yelled at her for forgetting it and being irresponsible. She said I could just buy her another one, but I said that wasn't the point and we left.
I literally hate this person so much.
She hasn't apologized since. You're a monster.
You're literally a monster.
I'm never seeing you again. I've since been no contact with her and refused to let her visit. She's done other stuff like this in the past because she likes to act as if she's 18. And I've listened to my parents when they told me to let it go, but this time she really hurt my daughter.
No, if she's done this behavior, like she's done behavior like this multiple times, and now she's not apologizing and hurt your daughter. No.
She made your daughter cry.
She made your daughter
and
cry.
she wasn't even apologetic for making her cry.
I
She's like, you can
literally-
get another
I don't
one.
wanna see her.
Why is she crying? My parents are now saying it's just a plant and I'm being ridiculous for holding a grudge. It's not just a plant. It's the idea behind the plant.
And also, it's her reaction and inability to apologize.
My daughter has been extremely sad since the incident and has lost interest in gardening.
No.
Even asked to stop calling her Sweet Pea, which breaks my heart. No! So bad! I hate the sister. So Reddit, I ask you, am I the a-hole? I hate to see my daughter like this, but I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. Is an update.
No. Your sister is a monster, and I'm throwing her in the sun. And I hate her. Maybe like you can talk to your daughter and be like, hey, sometimes, things, don't live even when we care for them a lot.
That would have been
And
a
that's
better
a lesson.
That would have been a
you
lesson
could do
if again she couldn't
if she couldn't take care of it.
care of it.
And,
But she
you
was-
could just say like, hey, it wasn't your fault, and we're gonna get a new pea plant, and we can try again. That's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's life. You can always
Yeah.
try. Like you make mistakes. Mistakes happen. But the fact that that's what something maybe the sister or the aunt in this case would have done. Like that would have been like, oh my gosh, I tried my best to take care of it. I would have made a little line like, here, I'm gonna buy you a new one, like and all that stuff. But the fact that the aunt was just doubling down on like, I don't care.
She's like, whatever. It's
You're going
just
to the
a plan. Sun.
To the sun you go.
But there's an update.
You heathen. Update. Some of you have been asking for an update, and since my last post, some good and bad things have happened that I thought I
Okay.
should write about.
Okay.
After I had some time to cool off from the events at my sister's and read all the comments, I realized I was overreacting a little bit.
I honestly don't think you were.
I understand now that it was my fault to let my sister handle something that was so important to my daughter. And so after she had a bit of time to grieve her plant, I wasn't going to rush her feelings. We had a conversation of plant life cycles.
Oh, okay. See, this is a lesson that we can
It is a
learn
little
from.
bit of a lesson, but again, it's not fair because it
Yeah.
wasn't on the daughter. I talked to her about plants, even in the most well cared for circumstances, can pass away. And I told her how proud I was that she took care of her plant as well as she did. After a bit of a pep talk, she seemed ready to go at it again.
Yay! Okay, good.
Nice. And so we took her to a garden shop again where she picked out of her own tools: soil, pots, gloves, and lots of different plant seeds.
This is so cute.
We also got her some vegetable and fruit seeds, like some of you suggested, so that she could eat what she's grown, which she's really excited for. That's really
Oh,
sweet.
This is so
She's
cute.
like, I'm making strawberries.
Yay!
Yay, strawberries. As for my sister,
Ugh.
after a week of posting, I went over to try and explain why the plant meant so much to my daughter and how it couldn't be so easily replaced. I'm sad to say that she once again lectured me on how it was just a plant and that they all end all the time.
I hate you, son. She gave you a chance to apologize, and you still didn't take it.
I'm sorry, I overreacted, but like it wasn't the idea. It's not just a plant. Again, it's because Sweet Pea over here is learning about, she's excited about it, and she was putting so much effort into
she
it.
put a lot of work in this.
And you
she's
don't
like,
care.
Oh, it's just a
You
plant.
don't care about Sweet Pea. You're a monster.
Monster.
I also got a text from my parents about how they thought I was mature enough to just let go of something so stupid. I realized that they aren't going to change their minds on the subject and that I should just move on. So I've decided to drop the topic with them. But I have decided to never let my sister handle anything of value.
Smart.
Especially if it's my Sweet Pea daughters.
Smart.
I have since apologized to my daughter about the Sweet Pea and we hugged it out. We also took suggestions to use the old Sweet Pea as compost for a new one so that the old plant is still with us.
So sweet.
Overall, it's a happy ending. My daughter is feeling better than ever, has given names to all her plants.
Aw.
She has 12 now and 2 succulents. Oh,
This is
so sweet.
adorable.
Takes care of them just as well as the old Sweet Pea and has even gone back to requesting we call her Sweet Pea again, which I almost cried tears of joy when she asked that. And all I ask of you is to join us live weekdays, 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile.
Tap it. I mean,
Again.
like, the sister still freaking sucks.
Sister, son.
Son.
And just kick her out.
Kick her in the sun, and then she
But-
can help you grow these plants
Yes.
because she'll be in the sun.
But this is such a wholesome story
Yeah.
with the daughter.
If you ignore all the stuff with the sister
It's such
and the parents,
It's so sweet.
it's really sweet.
Thank you to all the suggestions given and the people who offered to send seeds for my daughter. Oh my gosh. As well as to the people who helped me realize my mistakes. I'm also glad to say we have found a potential plant sitter in the future.
Yes.
My husband's coworker is very keen on plants and has a very green thumb just like my daughter. Also, at this rate, we're considering setting up an indoor sanctuary for the plants when it gets too cold in winter to bring them
I
outside.
freaking love this, man.
So glad things turned out well in the end. Everyone's happy. The plants have already started sprouting and life has never been better. And that's the end of that story. That was so sweet.
Positive.
So cute.
I love it.
Sister sucks.
Sister, son.
Bye.
Keep growing those plants, man. You got this.
But that's the end of that story, guys.
My sister keeps comparing her grief to mine. I think she just wants attention.
Nah, it's just not as good as hers, bro.
Ooh, trigger warning, miscarriage / loss of child. I, 32 female, lost my son at 19 weeks. This was my first pregnancy and it has been the worst pain I've ever felt. My husband, 31, and I are heartbroken, but doing our best to share our grief together and find peace as we heal. I'm so sorry, Opie. By the way, this comes from It's Bambi 92 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So we have been overwhelmed with gratitude for the amount of love and support we have received from our loved ones, family, and friends alike. I have no energy to feel angry because it would not make me feel better. I'm not going to have my son back. I've worked so hard on my mental health. I cannot allow myself to fall back into those dark places. I feel that writing and talking about my story and grief with myself, my husband went through something similar and is trying to support her sister.
In the best way that she can.
And the best way she knows how. My sister didn't visit me at the hospital. It was all sudden. No one saw this coming. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt. She had her kids to look after and couldn't make it to the hospital. My mom told me that the reason she couldn't go visit me was because it brought back memories of her miscarriage and she couldn't handle it. Seems like OP's sister had a miscarriage 12 years ago and OP was really there for her, but is not receiving that when she just had her miscarriage and she's in this hospital.
Yeah.
I understand. Wow. Ugh. Yeah, Josephine Mandola Brickweasel also said, no, sister lost hers first long before OP did. Yes, I understand now. She had her kids to look after and couldn't make it to the hospital. My mom told me that the reason she couldn't go visit me was because it brought back memories of her miscarriage and she couldn't handle it. I will admit that it hurt me a little bit because I would not hesitate to be there for her if she needed me. My mom then said, I told your sister that she has a lot of work to do to confront her fears. The last thing that I want is to make my sister feel like I've forgotten about her baby and her story. It will never be forgotten. I still think about her baby because my sister keeps her memory alive. It's been 12 years and we still remember. I was going through postpartum and my started to lactate. I felt the pressure, tenderness, and soreness on top of the pain of the reality that my baby is gone. Ugh. When I told my sister, she asked, have you started pumping? I responded, no. And she said, oh, when I lost my baby, I started pumping and I gave my milk to my mom's friend for her newborn. I then said, there isn't a newborn for me to give the milk to. My sister pointed at her 6 to 7 month old baby. I then said, I'm sorry, sis. I can't. I don't want to because this milk was for my son. And without warning, I started crying. My sister hugged me and started talking to make me feel better, but some of the things she said left me feeling weird. She said things like, I know it happened to me too, but you have your husband and I didn't. My ex didn't support me. Imagine how I felt. I know I shouldn't have stayed with him after the way he treated me, but I guess I'm dumb for that. At least you have your husband. I was alone. No one was there for me and you have so many people who love you. Imagine how I felt when I lost my baby. I don't want you to experience this because it's a terrible feeling. Imagine how I felt knowing that you're now going through this. Girl.
Oh, dude.
What?
It's
not about you.
Such a very, very sensitive thing that you're going through that you need to figure out with a professional and not your sister who is currently dealing with this.
Yeah, why are you like making this all about you?
I think she's working through emotions here, but she doesn't
needs
need
to go to
do it
therapy.
here. Yes.
You need to go to therapy because if this is how you're reacting when your sister, like obviously you're never going to, fully get over the pain of losing a child, but it's been 12 years and you're still putting this on, like this guilt tripping on your sister who's just experiencing this. That's horrible.
Our roommate, Christian, we were driving and someone cut him off. And he said, if I was president, I would have a thing that people press a button and they automatically revoke their license. We should have
after a certain amount of time.
After a certain amount of times. They should have that for therapy. Like, after a certain
if
amount
you
of
hurt a certain amount of people, you have to go to therapy.
You have to automatically be put in therapy.
It's court mandated therapy. You're like, you know what? You hurt me.
You said XYZ. You're going to have to figure that out.
Yeah. Therapy. I had no energy or any idea how to respond. She said so much and it was overwhelming. All I thought about was, I lost my son and I miss him and this hurts. I haven't been able to tell my sister about how it makes me feel because you have to be very careful when you address things to her. She can be really sensitive and take it the wrong way. When my mother-in-law came over to help clean, my sister came over with her kids and she started talking about her miscarriage story with my mother-in-law. Then it was about her failed marriage. I stayed quiet but could overhear my mother-in-law tell my sister that she shouldn't talk badly about her kid's father in front of her kids and that she needs to be positive. Things I have told her many times. My parents have told her friends have told her. The thing is, I hate to think this way, but my sister likes the attention she's been receiving from others since the separation from her ex-husband. And now that I'm experiencing such a great loss, my sister keeps bringing up her miscarriage as if it happened today. My sister told me that she's here to support me because she knows what it's like, but I don't feel like I can reach out to her. I'm scared she's going to just talk about her miscarriage and her problems and leave no room for me to breathe or feel like I have a safe space to talk about my son. By the way, you can join us live on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. And there is a little bit more to the story, but your sister needs to go to therapy because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is not how you comfort people. I think there is a way when you're comforting people to say like, you know what? I've been through this. I know how you feel and it's going to get better or it's going to take time. It's going to hurt a lot.
I like to sit with friends when they're going through a hard time and just sit there.
Yeah, I think
I'd not
that's
say
also,
anything. Just
Mhm.
like,
I think sometimes you just have to also ask people, like, do you want me to talk? Do you want advice? Do you want just me to listen? Because people need different things. Sometimes they just want to rant. Sometimes they just want to cry and have a shoulder to cry on. But this is not how you do it.
yeah, sorry guys, this is a tough one.
Yeah, if anyone needs to go, like, please, do not have to be here. And I'm sorry for anyone who's had experiences like this where you've lost a child, because that's really, really hard. I know my sister needs to talk to her therapist about this because I told her that she can cry with me when I talk about my grief. But if she's going to talk about her miscarriage as if it were a fresh wound like mine, then she cannot support me. I'm sorry if this makes me sound like an a-hole, but I'm not going to let my son's memory be overshadowed and forgotten. He was real to me. Oh, my mind is all over the place, but am I the a-hole for not wanting to listen to my sister talk about her miscarriage and failed miscarriage while I grieve the loss of my baby?
Yikes. Therapy will be great.
Yeah.
For the sister.
Definitely needs therapy.
Hearts out to UOP.
Yeah.
And to everyone else that's gone through this too.
Definitely your sister needs therapy. So Griba says, for the story that we just read, she could say, I can't handle it. I'm sorry for your loss and I want to be there for you, but I'm not in a position to do so yet. I think that's would be fair. Nikki Bordeaux says, bit of good news for me. I finally had a big talk with boyfriend about us moving in together. He's my perfectly wonderful Hobbit boyfriend. And we had a really hard but ultimately positive talk.
Whoa.
I'm glad.
I love G's in the chat.
I love G's.
Let's go.
Do we have any memes that we can look at on the Discord
I don't know.
to cheer us up before we leave on this story?
We're not going to do a TLDR on this one.
Yeah, no.
No, it's
Lulu,
not.
thank you for the $5. Loving the Sophia and Riley stream. Again, sorry for picking on Riley. You do amazing.
Aw, stop.
Oh, yeah.
They found the
That's
guy.
so sweet. Yeah. Oh, and Hannah, thank you for the $15. I don't know if we saw that one.
Oh, yeah. In the
Hearts.
chat. Well, they found the guy.
Yeah.
The CEO guy.
Everyone's in the comments saying, like, oh, he's hot.
Let's see. We'll see some comments.
There was,
Imagine
like, a
being
picture,
the McDonald's
yeah.
worker that snitched on him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, bro, just put the fries
I saw
in the
that
bag.
one. I got the same
This
thing.
ain't no shoddy. I follow mugshot shotties. So,
What
like,
is
it's
that?
just like girls. Like,
Why?
I was single and now
You're not.
I still follow them.
You're an interesting
Anyways,
person.
I support. But we found him. We, the jury, find daddy. I mean, the defendant not guilty. He's a hero. Let's revolt. Good luck finding a jury that doesn't love this man. Oh yeah, they're not gonna find a jury.
No,
Free
'cause
him.
Also, it's really hard because usually for juries, it's like, do you know anything about this story? Because they want unbiased, but everyone's going to know about this.
We're gonna talk to our story approvers, and probably won't have many stories like this. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can. Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
And that is the end of the story. My sister told me to remove my bridesmaid or else she won't come.
Bridesmaid versus sister.
Shortly after my fiance and I, 23, got engaged and decided on a traditional wedding, my sister Ashley, 21, came over to my house. After hanging out for a few minutes, I asked if she wanted to help finalize my bridesmaids and look at venues as her first maid of honor task. She immediately perked up with excitement, clapping her hands as she grinned and asked if this was me officially asking her to be my maid of honor. By the way, this comes from Elidicist on the r/Charlotte Joe Bray YouTube subreddit, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, she asked where her gift was, and I apologized that her maid of honor gift box hadn't been delivered yet. I could tell she was disappointed, so I joked that I didn't think I needed to officially ask her, since it was always a given that we'd be each other's maid of honors one day.
Well, how am I supposed to tell all of my 10,000 followers on Instagram?
I feel like I think it's kind of a sweet gesture to be like, hey, I got, make it a little more ceremonial.
But Brittany's sister asked her to be a maid of honor, and she got a really cool bouquet of flowers, and I get nothing.
I get nothing.
This is what it is.
She didn't give any kind of reaction, just asked what I was thinking for bridesmaids. I named two of our close cousins and my fiance's cousin. Then I mentioned wanting my future brother-in-law's girlfriend, Hannah, to gauge Ashley's reaction and see if this would be a problem for her. My future brother-in-law has been in a relationship with Hannah for 3 years. My fiance and I have grown very close to both of them. The problem? Hannah was friends with my sister's ex-boyfriend while we were all in high school. Ashley hated this and frequently accused her ex of flirting and cheating with Hannah. Ashley hesitated when I said I wanted Hannah in the bridal party. She said it was my decision, but she was afraid that Hannah would cause problems and drama.
To be fair, if my brother...
Yeah.
This is a situation, I'd be like, dude, can we not? Can we pick someone else?
Yeah, I feel like if you already knew that it might cause trouble, I wouldn't even, if you wanted to be your maid of honor, why even put that person in the party, you know? If you
Yeah.
know it's going to be a problem.
Unless you guys are really that tight.
Yeah, which it doesn't, like, is this your brother-in-law's girlfriend?
Of 3 years.
Yeah.
Not wife.
Yeah, I don't know. If you want your sister to be maid of honor and you know it's going to be a problem, I just wouldn't have done it. I had to stop myself from rolling my eyes because that's not Hannah's style, but it is Ashley's. Do you even want this girl to be your maid of honor?
I think she likes drama.
Girl,
What's happening
do you
here?
even like your sister? The visit continued to go downhill from there as she questioned my bridesmaid choices and suggested others. Fast forward a few weeks of booking the venue and some vendors, I coordinated with my mom and Ashley to schedule a wedding dress shopping appointment. 2 days before the appointment, I got a call from my sister telling me that she couldn't go because she had too many chores to do. What? Are you serious? I asked carefully. Yeah, we're still organizing the apartment. We only moved in a couple of weeks ago, she explained. Well, I really want you there, and this is important to me. It's a morning appointment. Can you still come if I help you afterwards? I asked. Well, it's my first appointment with my boyfriend. This is important to me too, Ashley asserted. And I feel like this is something you and Mom need to do alone together.
Okay.
I've spent my entire life walking on eggshells around Ashley's explosive tendencies, and I wasn't about to stop now. I was hurt that she didn't want to see me try on wedding dresses, but I knew better than to push her buttons and start an argument. But by the time my second wedding dress appointment came up, I was in a pettier mood. Ashley texted me and asked if I wanted her to go. I said I wanted her to go to the first one. Ashley repeated her reasons, but I told her that didn't make sense to me, and I didn't understand what was going on. Why she didn't want to go to the first appointment. Why she had been so short with me lately. Why she was so excited for wedding planning at first, but now didn't want any part of it. I said I felt like she didn't even want to be my maid of honor anymore. And she said that needed to be a face-to-face conversation. So I drove to her apartment to talk with her.
Interesting. Definitely about Hannah.
Yep, it's pretty obviously about Hannah.
If someone says they'll help me organize my apartment, if I just go to an appointment, come on.
What?
I would totally take her up on that. Earlier,
Is that
she
what
was like,
said?
yeah.
going to the appointment. Yeah.
come on.
She ripped into me in every way she could. How spoiled and entitled I was for letting our parents pay for some wedding vendors. How hard it's going to be for her to plan my bachelorette party with our cousin who's under 21 and Hannah. And she was most upset at how I asked her to be my maid of honor and basically said that I expected to be her maid of honor one day when she didn't want that. Her words shocked me to my core and hit harder than the biggest tidal wave. I couldn't believe I didn't see it coming. Ashley's MO is to create drama so you figure out she's upset with you. I felt stupid for not recognizing that's why she didn't want to go to my wedding dress shopping appointment. I felt like she didn't care how she hurt me, so I took off my filter and didn't handle the situation like I should have. I told her I was sorry about the joke I made about how us being each other's maid of honor was a given, but I never would have made it if I didn't think that was true. I'd admitted even though we weren't best friends in the way a lot of sisters are, we had been through everything together and were always there for each other. We both had friends come and go, and neither of us had any close friends anymore. But I knew, at least I thought, I'd always have her like she'd always have me. And I was hurt because I was realizing she never felt that way.
Oh.
Ouch. So she's your best friend, but you're not her best friend.
Two different sides of the
That's
coin.
rough.
What are you supposed to, you can't change anything.
Yeah.
Hannah, you're now maid of honor.
Yeah. Just replace your sister, I guess. Ashley said if I was really her friend, I would never be friends with Hannah, let alone have her in my bridal party. I asked her once again to provide me any specifics on the flirting and cheating instances with Hannah and her ex, but she couldn't, just swore that it happened. I told Ashley what I've told her before, that Hannah and I actually talked about her history with Ashley and her ex. Hannah and I bonded over the fact that we're both receipt keepers for situations like these, where she wants to show proof of something. She shared all her old texts with Ashley's ex with me, where they hardly had full conversations and no flirting. Ashley insisted Hannah could have deleted texts, while I argued that it's more likely that they were just casual friends in a school that only graduates 40 people a year.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of
graduates.
sense.
Yeah. We kept arguing about the bridal party and the wedding dress appointment. After the third time, she said I was making it hard for her to want to be my maid of honor. I said she didn't need to worry about it anymore and was off the hook. Dang.
No.
Dang, man. Well, there you go. That's it. No more maid of honor. I feel like this is I don't have a sister, but I do have
Same.
friends who I consider sisters. And I feel like sometimes you fight. From what I've heard about sisters fighting, you get pretty crazy.
Yeah, I recently got a new sister, and Sometimes she fights with me. That's tough sometimes.
But then you get over it.
Yeah, you get over it.
Get over it.
I think this is too much. Everyone's the
Yeah.
a-hole here.
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
OP, you're doing this because you want to torment your sister.
You literally said, yeah, she starts, like, she's always about the drama. And then you literally set her up to, like, you're like, I know she's going to start some drama if I do this. So I know, and she did. She's the a-hole for that. But, like, you know.
What else is she supposed to do?
If you know the train's coming, got to get out of the way. A couple of weeks passed. I apologize for the distasteful joke I made, an unfair expectation I tried to put on her, and I apologize for the half-butted apology I initially gave her. She accepted the apology and said sorry as well. I could tell she thought I would ask her again to be my maid of honor. I told her I thought it was best for her to be there as a bridesmaid without any of the expectations of a maid of honor. She paused. Who's going to be your maid of honor then? She snapped. Oh no. OP.
We already know. You're already in a petty mood. We already know who you're going to pick.
I was slightly taken aback by her tone that came out more like an accusation. No one. Oh, I conceded. Everything I said to you when I asked you to be my maid of honor and the night we fought is all true, so I'm not going to have one. You know the maid of honor plans the bridal shower and the bachelorette party, right? Ashley continued, her accusatory tone. Well, I've been trying to tell you I only wanted a low-key bachelorette, and Mom and I can do the rest of the planning, I answered her. That turned into even more arguing about the bridal party, which resulted in Ashley giving me an ultimatum. Either Hannah is in the wedding party, or she is. She wants me to punt Hannah out because I never should have asked her in the first place. She said that's how I can prove if we're really friends the way I said we are. If I don't, then she'll remove herself as a bridesmaid. I feel lost and devastated. I love Hannah and I don't want to break her heart, let alone piss off my fiance and my future brother-in-law. But my argument with my sister turned into the whole family arguing with each other. Now my parents are basically telling me I should do it and keep the peace. And I'm so tired of all the fighting that I'm starting to think they're right. By the way, you guys would be right if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Do you have any final thoughts?
You guys don't like each other.
Yeah.
You could totally see this shift in her thought process of being maid of honor whenever you mention Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
If Hannah did or didn't cheat on her ex, I don't know. It just seems all messy and like it's just time to, I don't know. You guys either need to mend or not be sisters.
You're done being sisters. I think at this point, you've already made a decision that led to this drama. And I honestly think that OP should just keep Hannah in the wedding and, because at that point, it's kind of like an OP doesn't have to make the decision, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It like puts it on the sister to make a choice to not be a bridesmaid rather than OP actively being like, Hannah, you're out of the wedding.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if she does it that way where she keeps Hannah in, then the sister throws a tantrum and she's like, okay, like I'm not kicking, I want you to be in the wedding. So she's not really choosing anyone.
Okay.
I think that honestly would be better because your sister's throwing a fit and I don't think that you should give in to that.
Don't give in to it. She seems like she's the spoiled and entitled one.
Yeah.
But I'm also smelling hints of that from you, OP.
Yeah, it just feels like you knew what was going to happen, but it's too late to stop it now.
Yeah, what happens next?
OP says, I swear I didn't set out to be a bridezilla. I just wanted the women I love and trusted as bridesmaids, but I should have foreseen all the problems asking Hannah caused. Now I'm in such a hole, I don't know who to turn to except for you lovely potatoes, who I know will be honest with me. I really do feel like the worst person if that's any consolation. Depending on how this continues with my family, I might just elope, y'all. I know I'll be an a-hole either way, but what would be the least a-hole move? Should I apologize and remove Hannah as a bridesmaid since it is my sister, and I did majorly F up by making that stupid joke? Or should I let Ashley remove herself since she's the one imposing the ultimatum? Again, I think you should just let Ashley remove herself.
Yeah.
Call her bluff. Maybe she's bluffing. Maybe she won't do it.
Probably. She's also expecting a lot from this bachelorette party.
Yeah.
All this stuff. It seems like, you're just going to have a low-key bachelorette party, but we were supposed to go out and drink and have a good time and do all these different things.
Yeah, I feel like she wanted to make it like her bachelorette party.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
really about you.
I wonder how that boyfriend's doing.
Yeah.
They
Hannah's
moved in
boyfriend?
together? No. Oh my gosh. Ashley's boyfriend.
Does she have one?
Yeah, she moved into an apartment with her. That was the first chore thing, remember?
Oh, right.
Ugh.
No. But that's the end of that story, folks.
My entitled sister assumes she can use my venue for her wedding, but she never booked it.
Well, she's gonna find out she's wrong.
I am 25. My sister is 29. I also have a younger sister, 8. When I was 14, my mom sent me to live with her parents. Her excuse was that they needed me to help out. I believe she just didn't want to deal with her growing male teen. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Sis Please, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my grandparents owned an amazing property in the mountains that has the amazing view. We also have some horses and other critters.
Dang.
Okay, got that chicken money.
Yeah.
They were also quite wealthy as well. They both passed around 4 months ago, a month apart. They gave me the property because I would appreciate and respect it more, while my mom and sisters got money and other assets, overall valued more than the property. In the past 4 years, I turned part of the property into a venue for mainly weddings. GPs knew of this idea and thought it was a good one. We are busy and usually booked around 8 months out. My sister got engaged 1.5 years ago and said she wanted to get married at the property. I said, yes, just let me know the date as soon as possible so I can make sure it's booked. I never got a date. I followed up several times and kept asking her. She would brush me off. 2 weeks ago, I got the wedding invitation stating the property is the location and the date, which is September of this year.
That's, depending on when this was posted, that's very soon.
And depending on where this is, that's a baller month to get married.
Yeah.
You gotta have some cash for that. I immediately called her and said that we are booked for that date and can't accommodate her. Well, now her, my mom, other family, her partner's family, as well as other flying monkeys have been blowing up on me. They are also calling and writing reviews for my business.
No, that's so annoying.
I asked them to stop and called my sister telling her that I literally said all she had to do was tell me when she knew her date was so I could block it out and I would take care of everything else. She went off on how I'm ruining her day. It's our family's property and how she already sent out the invitations and couldn't go back now. I should just tell the other couple to cancel. They have been on the books for over a year now and I actually like them. Family is more important. After the last big blow up, I started communicating strictly through the business, using our record line as well as email. I suggested 3 other dates around the same time, but that's not good enough. I'm being resentful and a-hole.
Not at all. Literally, okay. If you weren't related to them, it would be quite literally insane if they said that to just a random business.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I know we didn't book, but 2 weeks before or however
2
long.
weeks, yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, however long it's, I guess this is probably.
We'll say it was in March.
Yeah, still, I mean, anytime that they're doing it, they can't just send out the letters and say, yeah, we're doing it here. If it was a person that wasn't related to them, there would be absolutely no question that that's crazy.
Yeah, you need about a year and a half.
Yeah.
To let them know.
Or they've booked it, which is what happened here. And OP's even offering other dates.
That's really nice of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, ridiculous.
Very crazy. Edit to add, thank you all for the overwhelming response. I thought I was going crazy. I'll try to respond to people later when I have some time. Thank you all for the advice and responses. Edit to add 2. Wow, there's no possible way I can respond to everyone. I'm so popular, blah, blah, blah. I plan on getting in contact with the couple and see if I can take them to dinner or something to explain the situation. I'm thinking of giving them a discount, getting a guest list, and being tight on security on our part. Thanks to everyone. Edit to add 3. I'm so blown away by the responses. Probably won't update till later, but I'm going to reach out to the other couple and have a sit down with my sister as well as my mom. I have a meeting with a lawyer this week. And finally, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to name my business for reasons. Thanks for the offers of writing good reviews, but I can't accept it. We have one comment. So she talks about just do a favor for me and be kind for everyone. And we have some relevant comments. That's nice that they're talking to the couple, but I don't know.
I'm confused if OP's saying, and we'll probably find this out, but I'm confused if OP is saying that they're gonna go meet to talk with a couple to change their date, or if OP just wants to be nice because she wants to get back at her family. I'm not quite sure.
Know. Yeah, she said she's just gonna sit down with them. Not sure what they're gonna do.
Are you trying to change the date? Because I don't think you should do that.
Do not.
Don't give in to your sister.
Relevant comments. Your mom has to be the one filling her head with, it's fine, it's our property. We can use it whenever we want. OP, I have no doubt in my mind that my mom is the one filling her head. She definitely has the mentality of what's hers is hers and what's mine is hers. Grouchdown says, oh yeah, sis and mom know better. It's possible sister never moved out of the house at 18, though. Hopefully.
Oh, and also I realized I said she, but OP's a guy.
Oh, dude, I forgot.
Yeah.
OP's a dude.
OP's a guy.
Everyone, OP is a man. He has man parts.
Continue.
Hopefully OP updates about this. My family had a lot of siblings raising each other, basically single parent home because my dad was rarely around, and that does grow a lot of resentment. But it also grows a sense of responsibility. Sister never giving OP the wedding date despite multiple attempts of communication is why I doubt this is a situation where sister raised him until he was 14 and more so favoritism. So sister just is the favorite.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, his mom literally gave him away. She was like, you're gonna go live with your grandparents. Bye.
We didn't want a boy.
So, yeah, clearly there's some favoritism going on here.
Opie says, I don't want to get too much into that, but my older sister didn't raise me at all. I was basically alone from around 8, 10-ish to when I was relocated. She also didn't move out until about 4 years ago, and she's now 29. She didn't move out until she was 25.
Yeah.
OP added to another commenter, does she have caterers booked with menu, officiant, DJ, decorations, deposit, or is she thinking that you're going to do all this and pay for all of it too? Has she talked with any of them and booked them? OP says, I honestly have no idea. I need to go back and make sure if anything's booked for that day is for the actual couple. I need to call the other couple and possibly have a sit down face to face with them. As my sister, she hasn't told me much. I'll try to see if I can get my little sister to be a mole for me to gather information. Info to add, a little sister and I have a good relationship. She spends time with me and loves my horses. So it should be easy to convince her.
I mean, I'm just confused why you're meeting with the people. I don't understand. Are you trying to tell them that you can't give them that day? Like, what's your plan here? Because don't do that. You have a business to run. Don't switch up on the people that have committed to you for the, sister that's trying to give you or trying to force your hand, even though she has had no planning or given you any time to prep. Don't do that. Oh yeah, it says I would. Yeah, okay, this is relevant.
Guys, I just found another update.
Oh man.
Thank you all for your love, comments, and opinions. It was quite overwhelming. It has been busy. Sorry it took so long. First, I would like to say that I did leave out a bunch of background information and history between my family and I. People had concerns about the comment I made about my little sister and putting her in the middle of things. I didn't end up asking her, but she still helped out. In regards to the other couple that booked the day, I will not / did not cancel on them. I invited them out to the property and to have a nice dinner. We had a good time and I explained what was happening. I said I would not cancel on them. I offered added security, requested a guest list, and a main point of contact for guest questions, and a discount for just in case things happen. They understood and accepted the new terms and offer.
Of course they did. They just got a discount.
And a nice dinner right beside of some horses.
Yeah, man. I'm like, of course, whatever you say.
Heck yeah. I do have a lawyer, and I have sent her cease and desist letters to my sister, mother, their friends, and other family members who are making false reviews.
Good.
And talking bad about my business.
I was going to say you should do that because they can't just be leaving all these bad reviews that have no backing.
And that went over well. Sarcasm. It didn't go so hot.
I imagine not.
She also said not to share my details to get better reviews. On to my sister and mom. I told them both that it's my property. There is no our. And it is not the family property. It's mine. I told them under no circumstances were they allowed to show up on the date of question. I had offered several different solutions, which all were rejected. All I asked in the beginning was for an immediate response to when they figured out a date they wanted to get married. If it was at any other venue, and they did this, it would not work. Just because I'm running it doesn't give them special treatment or priority. They argued. I shut them down. If they want to have their wedding here, call for a date. Now my younger sister was able to find the invitation list and send it to me. I guess my older sister left her computer open. All of the people that RSVP'd, I sent an email / text saying the venue is not where the wedding will be set, as it was never reserved under the bride and groom's names. Dude, that is some skeeving from the little sister.
Yeah, she's still trying to get Yeah.
Good
stuff. You sent your spy in.
Wild. The groom reached out to me and asked if I was serious about her not reserving the date. Apparently, she told his side of the family she had it covered.
Liar.
And not to worry about it.
She's a liar.
He also apologized and mentioned they knew the date for over a year now.
Then why wouldn't she say? Like, literally, what was her thinking there?
And on top of that, he said he has a lot to think about now.
Yeah, they might not even need the venue. There might not even be a wedding if she's lying about everything.
Because if you have an estranged brother and you're hearing from your partner, oh, they're horrible. All they say is mean things to me, blah, blah, blah. And you actually have a conversation with them and you're like, oh, they're normal.
It's pretty normal. Oh, and she never told you what date we were doing? That's strange.
Huh.
Yeah, of course he's got a lot to think about.
Now, since that talk, everything is quiet and I'm scared. Usually when my sister is quiet, one of two things happen. It's about to get painful. Eruption is immediate. So those are two things. That's all for now. I'll keep y'all updated. I'm not sure when I'll update, but it's over now. Also, sorry to the people asking for my venue details. I don't want to share it here due to me keeping my anonymity. Also, I'm in North America. And that is it. I also look for an update. There's no other update.
That's it. But it seems like OP's resolving it. We've got the legal side being involved.
Yeah.
The people who have that date aren't being canceled on, which is good.
They're not showing up.
And now the sister might not even be getting married.
Shoo, man.
That's her own fault.
I'd invite the brother-in-law or the new brother-in-law out
Yeah,
to
I'd
the
be
farm.
like, hey, want to come hang out?
Come check it out.
We could ride some horses.
Tell you how bad my sister is.
Yeah. Take him out to dinner. Be nice.
Look, man, you don't want to get married to her.
I gotta tell you, I'll give you a discount on the venue. But
Free.
Yeah, don't get married.
And guys, that's the end of that story. And
My partner invited his sister to stay in our apartment without my permission.
It's my apartment too, babe.
I, 35 male, and my partner, 34 male, live in a very small studio apartment with a separate galley kitchen. This will feature later, which is quite large, but again, it's a galley kitchen. The separate bathroom is also quite small. The living and bedroom space, while large enough for plenty of room for two people, is obviously open plan. So effectively, the bedroom, living room, and the sort of study area, large desk, computer, bookshelves, etc., are all in the same room. By the way, this comes from user Tree Whisper 2686, and if you want to submit your own stories, then go to OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily. We don't have all the answers, but we would tell you what we would do in this situation, and we would love to know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, don't get me wrong, the apartment takes up the entire top floor of the building, but it is still small. 5 guests for an evening is seriously pushing it comfort-wise in terms of space or places to sit that don't include the bed. His sister wants to come visit, and we initially said, and I hesitantly agree, considering the space and the fact I don't actually know her, that one night was doable if we had to sleep on the sofa bed in the same room. I don't love this idea, but one night is whatever. I have never met his sister. She lives in Turkey with her husband and kid, and their family home is just outside her city where her father lives. I have never met his family yet, mostly due to living in different countries. We've been in a serious relationship for about 1.5 years. While I've spoken to his sister a few times by phone, and she seems lovely and is aware we're in a serious relationship, I've tried to get him to realize it's impossible and impractical for her and her 3-year-old son to stay with us for 4 days. She doesn't particularly want to stay with her husband's family here in our country, which I understand. I'm sure lots of people have that scenario with in-laws. I know my sister does, so I totally get it. A night is already a lot in this space, but I wouldn't have an issue if it were only that. Now, however, he's extended that offer to 4 days without asking me at all. It's customary in Turkish culture for visiting family to stay with you, which I know is assumed, and I don't have an issue with that, but I do have an issue with the total lack of space we currently have. Plus, and this is in my mind also an issue, his father and brother-in-law, being Turkish, though not religious, are anti-LGBTQ+. The kid is clearly going to ask why 2 grown men are living in an apartment with only 1 bed. Or will probably be confused as to why one of us is magically, because I've no clue how that would work physically, sleeping in the kitchen. Remember that kitchen? Yes, you do, my darling clever reader. Before I get to that, I'll just add that I'm currently not working as I job search, so I'm home during the day frequently. He suggested I sleep in the kitchen. Say it together.
It's a galley kitchen.
So unless it's a TARDIS, and I've never noticed all this time, I do hope he's willing to demonstrate how the walls and floors space of the kitchen, of which I am intimately acquainted as I'm the cook in our little family of 2, work. Because in all my hours in their whipping up meals each day, I have somehow failed to notice which magic button or lever I press to expand said space enough to reveal secret sleeping quarters for 1, let alone 2. Being that as it may, I should also state, I was never a particular fan of Cinderella growing up, and am somewhat dismayed, as you might imagine, at the prospect of portraying her for the better part of a week. I don't think that's surprising to most people, but it seems a little lost on my unusually thoughtful partner. Usually thoughtful partner. We do have a sofa bed, but that would mean we're all sleeping in the same room. She and the kid would without question take the king-size bed. I wouldn't dispute that remotely. Which he feels might be a bit much privacy-wise. I'm glad he agrees something is too much in that respect. I certainly do too, so I'm perplexed as to why he would offer this when it's not even really workable. I have made it very clear that not only is springing this on me like it's some wonderful surprise beyond thoughtless and rude, it's also deeply disrespectful to me to not even ask first. We do not have room for this. No one will have much privacy, and he will also be working during most of their visit with us. I'm sure his sister is lovely, but I do not know her. It'll be intensely awkward and, well, intense if we're all in a tiny space together nonstop all day each day.
Again, it's 4 days, not even 4 weeks.
Yeah, not even 5 days.
It's not even 5 days. It's 4 days, and you're coming into this with so much negativity and so much assumption. And first of all, you're just assuming that she's just gonna stay at the apartment all day. Why is she coming? Why is she visiting in the first place?
Yeah.
You think she's gonna go out and maybe do stuff with her son?
Yeah, I feel like they'd probably want to, especially a 3-year-old, you got to get them outside. I mean, there's no way she's going to just be sitting in there all day being like, la, 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 let's make a mess, in the galley kitchen.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not, dude, it's his sister.
Yeah.
It's his sister he probably hasn't seen in years.
Yeah, because, it's different countries, I'm assuming.
Yeah. You're being incredibly rude and disrespectful. to be clear, you, OP, are the rude one.
Yeah, I think that...
It's 4 days. Get a hotel.
Yeah, that's true. If you're not comfortable, you could always go get the hotel.
If you're so viscerally uncomfortable with the thought of having to host your partner's family for 4 days, God forbid, go get yourself a Motel 6, okay?
I'm sure she'll take the kid to go out and about, naturally, but a lot of the time it's possible she's also just here. Add to that, I'm the cook. So guess what happens in Turkish families with visitors staying? That's right, Mr. Cinderella here better heat that dang kitchen up and gather his little attic mice buddies to help rattle some pots and pans and create various culinary delights every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner before he snuggles down in there at the end of the night. What a shame we don't have a cute little sooty fireplace in the corner where I can lay my weary little cinder glittered effing head at the end of the evening. But what do I know? Maybe it's all part of the wondrous kitchen TARDIS buttons magic expansion pack I've so far failed to discover. As you can assume, I've come to the conclusion that in his excitement, my partner has entered some kind of wildish, feverish psychosis, where in reality is only going to hit him about the insane awkwardness and impossible working nature of this visit he so graciously agreed to after the first day or two. It'll be too late to do anything then, as it would be rude.
Oh, you mean like what you're being right now? Okay, anyway.
I understand the cultural differences here. Where I'm from, my family would never be expected or assumed to stay with me. In fact, quite the opposite. That's not the case culturally here. It's not that I don't want to spend time with them. If we had another bedroom, it wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't mind at all, but we don't. And 3 adults and 1 toddler is unworkable. My partner refuses to acknowledge this is woefully impractical and thinks that I'm being rude and telling him he has to realistically tell his sister that it's not possible. Beyond that, It's placing me emotionally in a very weird and uncomfortable situation with someone I don't know yet, alone for days whilst he's at work. What if we don't get on in person? I see so many ways in which this could go well, actually, but that doesn't detract from the fact he's still thoughtlessly throwing me to the wolves in a sense. One in which is a 3-year-old who can't speak English and is actually currently going through a biting phase. I wish I was joking. If I had friends to stay with briefly, I would do that, but currently none are in a position where that's a possibility for 4 days. Or they have flatmates, etc. I know this is written dramatically, and yes, I'm trying to keep it light, but I am really annoyed, anxious, and just logistically rolling my eyes at how on earth he's thinking this is in any way a good idea. By the way, a good idea for you guys is to go and listen to full episodes, just like this one, on OK Storytime. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There is a relevant update, but what are we thinking?
I think you should actually talk to your partner the way that you've talked to the internet here and see how they react. I have a feeling you haven't done that and won't do that because you know it would end probably your relationship because it's absurd the way that you're speaking about his family.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of woe is me right now, OP, which, like, I understand, like, you want to be comfortable, you know, in your own house. I get that. But, like, also, it's 4 days, you can survive. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. And I don't think that throwing you to the wolves is what your partner is doing. I think that he is just excited to see his sister after so long.
Yeah.
And spend time with, you know, his niece, nephew, whatever they are. And, like, I just think that you're being, like, kind of unfair and, like, thinking that it's about you in this situation, because it's actually not even about you at all. And I understand that, like, maybe, you know, you're thinking you have to do this, like, but the other thing is you, like, I understand that he's expecting you to do a lot. Your partner maybe is putting all of that, like, you have to host, you have to do this because maybe you are
Is
unemployed.
he though? That wasn't clear
Yeah,
at
it
any
wasn't
point.
clear.
It really wasn't clear if that was expected or if he was just like, well, I looked this up and culturally it looks like they expect me to take care of everything.
Yeah, there's that as well. I just think that, OP, you're being a little bit dramatic, but I think that you should actually, if you had the conversation with your partner, I think he would see you in a whole different light, and
Yeah.
I don't think that would be good. So
I think if you had a job where you could make money and pay rent at the apartment, maybe we'd be having a different conversation about who has the right to decide who stays and who doesn't. But somebody had a real beautiful way of explaining that they're unemployed.
he's annoyed that I'm not reacting well to it, to put it lightly, and is worried his sister will be offended. I'd think he should also begin to worry. I'm offended too, quite frankly, but I don't think that's set in for him yet. I see both sides, but I can't help feeling I'm right with this. It is disrespectful to me to be placed in this position and then expected to cook and clean and entertain, considering all the above. Am I the a-hole? Am I overreacting?
Yes.
P.S. I thought I found the TARDIS button earlier, but it turned out to be a carbon monoxide alarm. This man has jokes.
You're funny. You're a
No
funny
luck.
guy.
No luck yet. And then there are some comments. Comment number 1. Not overreacting.
I disagree.
And I don't understand why you'd give up your bed for anyone, let alone one person and a small child.
Okay, so this person just doesn't know how to be courteous is the answer to that.
That's a major ick to me. Your partner is beyond rude here. He can get them an Airbnb. OP says, thanks. We would get them Airbnb, but we can't afford to. So that's the other thing. The bed thing, I don't mind. I'd insist on that if there was anywhere else to sleep that didn't involve us all in the same room / moving other furniture to make the space possible to move in for 4 days. There's also another comment. Comment number 2. Who is she visiting? Is it you boys? Because if it is and you have no room and she can't afford a place of her own, it's just a no-go. Facts are facts. OP says, us, but also friends. She'll have to visit a little with in-laws, so it's not entirely just us. And yeah, we don't really have the room, but he's convinced somehow or other we can make it work, which we realistically can't. And he's unable to get away from work, so I'm the one who's around. I literally cannot get my brain to wrap around how any of this is functional in his mind or at all a workable idea.
I'm sorry. It's just every time I hear that, I think of like people who I know who like lived in like a 500 square foot like room with like 6 other people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and it's just like, yeah, silly boy, it can work. You're just being incredibly unhelpful. You're just constantly being like, it won't work. It can't work. I won't let it work. It's not going to work. Instead of looking for a single possible solution.
Yeah, I feel like you're looking at it as such like a negative thing that's going to happen. That's going to put you and your partner in this like horrible situation. Right. And it's literally, 1, it's for 4 days. And 2, it's really like, I don't think your partner is expecting you to just be at their beck and call. I think that's kind of what you're thinking. Maybe there wasn't a clear like understanding of what you needed to do. But like, I feel like they're not going to be like, hey, you know, whatever your name is, like, you know, make us a sandwich. Like, they're not, I don't know. That's how I feel you're portraying it. But I feel like they're, you know, because you also said they're going to be visiting friends and in-laws, so they're not going to be home. I get that he is excited to spend time with them here in our city, but his time will be limited, and he's not seeing the big picture realistically, no matter what way I try to make sense of it for him. His stubborn streak is tuned right up to 100 on this. 100% on this. I might as well just paint his face on the wall, talk to his sloppy, lopsided portrait about it. Reply. No. If he can't get time off work to entertain his sister and nephew, then they can't come. You are not the designated guest wrangler for him. And can you even lie down / put an air mattress down in your galley kitchen? If you can, he can sleep there. It's not enough remotely close to being a workable idea. They can't stay with you.
My sister thinks my fiance purposely excluded her from my proposal.
How dare he?
I, 36 female, am now engaged to my fiance, 33 male. He proposed to me at our friend's 4th of July party over this past weekend. He told the friend who owned the property for obvious reasons, but was too focused on making sure it went right to tell literally anyone else until right before, just to make sure someone recorded it.
It's a lot of pressure.
By the way, this comes from Lemon Bark Art, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and we'll try to give our best advice, but we haven't experienced most of these situations ourselves, so if you have, let us know what you would do in the comments. But OP says, he said he had mentioned it a little to my brother-in-law, 35 male, at a family get-together a few months prior, and figured my brother-in-law would tell his wife, my sister, 32 female. He didn't want to say too much to anyone, as he didn't want to risk anyone acting weird and ruining the surprise.
Fair. It's supposed to be a surprise for about everybody.
My parents, my mom especially, is terrible at keeping surprises. So I don't know if a partner I was about to get married to that was trying to propose to me, I mean, they would have to tell her, but she would be really awful. Like, she's never kept a surprise from us.
Here we go. This is what happens.
Yeah.
You ready? He asked for your hand where you live.
Yeah.
And then you have your phone off while you're hanging out with your friends, or it dies. And then right after he asks for your hand, he directly come over to you where you are and then makes it happen. So like within the span of an hour.
Oh, okay. So he's like, hey, just heads up.
Hey,
I'm marrying her. Like, he could tell my dad. My mom just is terrible with
can I have your L's busting? Great. I gotta run.
I gotta go. LA traffic is terrible.
Yeah, and then whoever's around you, just be like,
Yeah.
The eagle is out of the nest. Repeat, the eagle's out of the nest.
Mama bird knows. Mama bird knows. Go, 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 go. He proposed out on our friend's property near the edge of the woods.
Cute.
Some people had already gone inside the house to chill, but when they heard about it, they came right out to find me and congratulate us. My brother-in-law was one of these people, and as he apparently hadn't been paying any attention at the get-together, I hadn't seen my sister come out, so I went to find her, assuming she hadn't heard yet. I went to show her the ring and tell her he proposed. But she glared at me and said, I know. I heard. He never even told me he was doing it. So I missed the whole thing. Real great effing guy you got there. She gave me an aggressive... She gave me an aggressive and sarcastic double thumbs up before walking away. So she went, real great guy you've got there.
So cringe.
And then she walked away. That is cringe. You could have at least done the finger guns. Real great guy you got there.
This feels
But like aggressively, like
She goes, real great guy you've got there.
This is so New Girl.
Yeah. What? New girl.
Something that girl would do. What's her name? Becky?
Cece?
No, Jess.
Oh, I
Something
think-
Jess would definitely
Yeah, Wait, you think that she would? When she's mad, she goes.
do. Yeah.
She would do that. I don't think she would get mad over this, but I think
don't
she
know.
would do that if she were mad.
If Schmidt
can
didn't
see that.
tell her she was proposing to Cece,
Yeah. Oh.
come on now.
Be pretty messed up. Yeah. I think if
Anyways.
any of my I can think of a person who, if they didn't tell me that they were proposing to the other person, I'd be like, how dare you? She gave me an incredible. We just had a whole full whisper conversation for the audio listeners. And about an hour later, she left the party completely. We've never been all that close, like night and day. So I didn't think she'd care so much about it. But she seemed to want to make it about herself instead of being happy for her older sister. Like I said, my fiance told all of 2 people, and only the property owner knew when, during the party, he was doing it. That's funny. Like, wait, is this an engagement party? I told my fiance that I probably wasn't going to say anything to her about it, and if she didn't apologize or even congratulate us by the time we set up invitations, I was considering not even inviting her. Seems she already made it clear she doesn't care. Would I be the a-hole? And there is an update. Let's pause on the not inviting her because she doesn't even care. She's hurt. Let's go have a conversation with her.
Yeah.
That's the first. She's your sister. She's clearly hurt that she wasn't involved because she cares about you and wanted to be involved on this very big event. So just have a conversation and be like, I'm sorry. I don't think he wanted to keep it a secret. It wasn't meant to hurt you. I would still very much love for you to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to be a part of the bridal part, like if that's true.
Yeah.
But let's have the conversation before we, jump the gun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm thinking if we take out the proposal,
Yeah.
what's the real issue your sister has with you, OP?
I feel like she just feels left out.
Yeah. Out of the loop.
Yeah, she's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's talk about it. Wait, it sucks that you have to be the one who kind of fixes things, but
Yeah, you're left with it
Yeah.
and not, congrats. If you feel hurt or something by something, I feel like you should, I don't know, talk to him talk it over coffee.
Yeah, let's go get a
Honestly.
little coffee. I had a really nice chai this morning.
Oh,
Go
that's
get a
nice.
chai, yeah. Little iced chai.
I'm now freaking out over my proposal because I know where it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. But it's
You know
like,
when it's going to happen?
not when, but I know where it's going to happen.
Where it's going to happen. Uh-huh.
And what day it would happen on.
Not what year.
Not what year. And I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
like freaking out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things to put together.
Yeah.
Someone's going to have to be in a ghillie suit.
I don't want to propose to my partner, not because I think gender roles wise, I'm like, yeah, I could totally do that. However, the issue here is that I just need that double confirmation, I just need they're really into me. I need that confirmation.
Is he into me?
Yeah. I couldn't do
I don't
it.
know. He says he wants to marry me. He asked for,
Yeah.
I
don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't think
Yeah.
he's into me that much.
I just don't know.
We've been together for like 10 years. but
Yeah. Maybe he's just waiting.
Yeah.
Maybe he's playing the long game. Maybe
Yeah.
he's just ready to dump me.
But there are some comments. Comment one says, talk to her about how her reaction made you feel. If she doesn't apologize or even explain how or why she had that reaction, invite her, but only as a guest. If she escalates or makes it like you were the bad guy for excluding her from the proposal, uninvite her and all her enablers. OP, thing is, I don't think she has any enablers. Found out that she made it up in her head that he told everyone but her and specifically waited for her to go inside so she would miss the entire thing. I am floored and confused AF.
Mm-hmm.
Even our mom said to just not talk to her about it because we all know she's just going to call us liars because she's convinced herself that it was all out of spite. And reply says, is there something going on in her life outside of your recent engagement that she feels like you and everyone else are out to get her? OP says she and her husband are currently separated, attempting marriage counseling, but bordering on divorce. I don't know how that would make her feel like everyone is out to get her, though. We've all been supportive of her despite knowing she's part of the problem as well in the marriage. She's extremely monotone and has RBF, but her husband is really trying to make it work. He'd been unmedicated for something that was causing issues as well, and now that he's been seeking help, he's not missed a single appointment.
Oh, sick.
I can understand the divorce, but I feel like she's drawing it out for some reason, as it's clear she's just done with him. I've told her that if she's really done, that she'd be better off to just rip the Band-Aid off so she can live her own life instead of letting this drag on with it all the stress it's putting on her. But if she truly wants to make it work with him, she's got to quit pulling away and actually do something about it. It's been over a year now that they haven't even lived together. Maybe she's mad that he proposed while she's going through a potential divorce, but that's just not fair. We've been together for 4.5 years. Was he supposed to wait till she figured out what she was going to do? Even if he waited till after a divorce, I'm pretty sure she'd accuse him of doing it to spite her even more. I don't know.
So this just confirms she's in her own little world and you're a part of it, and something happened without her controlling it or something.
Yeah. Well, she's blaming, the other stuff that she's got going on you.
Yeah. Weird.
And it's not your fault.
What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, your husband's divorcing you?
Was the guy supposed to go around and be like, hey, you got that divorce paper signed yet? You guys done yet? Okay, I'm going to go propose real quick. Was he supposed to do
sure
that? Run that by you? What?
No, come on. But there is an update. I still think talk to your sister.
Yeah, clear the air.
Yeah, even though your mom's like, oh, don't talk to her. She's just gonna say you're a liar. I think try.
Yeah.
Just so it gives you kind of a little bit more clarity on the situation, and then you can be like, well, you know what? She still refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Don't want her in the bridal party, or I don't want her at the wedding.
You can maybe mend something here.
Yeah.
There's a possibility.
Flower girl.
Flower girl.
Get flower girl.
Perfect. I talked to my mom when I visited to show her the ring this past weekend. She knew what I was talking about as soon as I mentioned my sister and said that she had already talked to her. I asked to know the other side because I was extremely confused. It turns out that my sister somehow decided my fiance had told literally everyone except her, and that he had specifically waited for her to go inside of the house before proposing, as if he purposely made sure that she missed it entirely.
Ah, nice.
Even after our mom tried to tell her that he wouldn't do something like that, she refused to listen. She claimed that someone at the party told her he had told everyone about it. But more likely, someone told her he didn't tell anybody and she misheard. I even asked our mom why. If he had told literally everyone except her, there were hardly any people outside to watch. Every person that came outside to congratulate us after they heard, excitedly exclaiming they wish they had known so that they could have seen it. I mentioned that I didn't feel like I should have to apologize, and our mom said that I didn't have a reason to because I didn't do anything. And neither did my fiance, because she knew he was so nervous about it that it was all he focused on.
Aww.
He told the owner of the property before the party and the person who took the video literally 10 minutes before I got down to where it was going to happen. She actually told me to just leave it alone because no matter what anyone says, my sister won't believe them. She refused to believe even our mom.
Oh.
So in the end, it was suggested that when the day comes, if she's still acting like this, to still send her an invitation and let her do what she wants with it. She just won't have anything to do with my wedding party, even if she does get her head out of her butt. And there is a second update. Dang, man. She is causing trouble.
Low key, you need one person to cause trouble per wedding.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting.
Yeah. And if
Like-
this is the troublemaker for the wedding, it's not that
Perfect.
much to deal with.
Yeah, easy troublemaker.
I would take this one 9 out of 10 weddings.
I think that if you can either have like a really, really fun wedding where, there's great food and like everyone's dancing, or you can have an interesting
Where everyone's
wedding.
having food and everyone's dancing, but there's a lot more drama.
And there's a lot of drama.
Dude, I'm freaking out over my proposal right now. I'm like, my heart's racing.
You got time.
Well, how did your brother do it?
Dude,
It was a nice ring.
it was, yeah.
It was a nice ring.
Sophia's impressed.
I was impressed.
He actually did the proposal I would have done if I lived in Tennessee still.
Yeah.
Took her to Cherokee Dam, went down by the river, boom, popped it out and did
You
it.
should,
the
you should
question.
try and fish it out of the river and be like,
Oh my
Dude,
gosh,
wait.
that's so funny.
I want like Smeagol type proposal. Like
what's
I'm like,
that shiny thing?
That shiny thing. That's mine.
Oh
my
gosh.
precious.
That
And
would,
you bring it out of the water, bite his finger off, and be like, oh, it fits.
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it's perfect.
that could definitely work. I'll bring up some pictures.
But there's an update.
Yay.
Hey y'all, so a bit of another update since July, which again involved my younger sister. Yeah, she is still basically ignoring both me and my fiance, even 6 months later. I found out Christmas morning that I'm pregnant, which me and my
Whoa.
fiance had been trying for almost a year before we had to stop for nearly 9 months due to a medical issue. I know it doesn't seem like that long, but it would have been way longer if they hadn't found the cancer cells early and removed them all over the last 9 months. I got pregnant within the very first few months after we got the green light to start trying again after the surgeries. Anyway, I know you're supposed to hold off telling people until the first appointment, but it was Christmas and I've been waiting far too long to say nothing. I made sure that everyone was in the room, including my youngest sister. It's like, everyone's here? or whatever her name is. Sister, you're here? Because we're about to do an announcement.
I need everyone to listen up.
And then you have everyone sign something that says, this is the first time I've ever heard this information.
I need every single one of you to hear what I'm about to say.
Get off your phone, Uncle Joe. This means my mother, my stepdad, both sisters, their husbands, my fiance, and my 2 nephews. I gave our mom a card because she loves to read them out loud from her girls and wrote, "It's time to spread the love just a little more next year. I hope to see you in 9 months." Both my mom and my middle sister jumped up, hugged me, and congratulated me.
And your older sister stood up, slapped you in the face, and said, "How dare you?"
Come to find out, my youngest sister was too involved in her phone. I called it! To hear literally anything that had happened. That's ridiculous. See, this is why I literally just said, put your phone down. You should have made sure everyone had their phone down. When her husband nodded at me and asked me to show her the picture, positive pregnancy test, because she hadn't heard it at all, I did. Her response was an extremely dry, "Congratulations," with no movement to get up, no excitement, nothing.
Dang, it looks like you have one sister.
Yeah, looks like you lost your sister. Even my nephews went slack-jawed and hugged me, excited for a baby cousin. You know what I'm excited for, though? Listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio. I was going to give you another.
Oh, I thought you said you were about to have a kid.
No, what should I search up?
Oh, okay, story time, I guess. I don't
It's a
know. Now I'm
good guess.
disappointed. I thought you were going to be like, "I'm pregnant." And I was going to be like, "Oh my God.
What?
I was going to be so happy for you.
I do not want a child right now.
That's gonna be the next poll. Who's gonna have a kid first?
I'm not having a kid until I'm at least 32. So I got some
I'm
time.
already practicing.
But there's a little bit left to this story. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even want to bring her to the wedding and be like, you know what? You clearly don't want to be, have a relationship with me.
Cut her
So
out.
bye.
Yeah, dude, she doesn't care.
At this point, me and my fiance are pretty positive that she just doesn't like the fact that we're happy and doing things she's not getting to do due to her impending divorce, which still hasn't happened, by the way. I didn't think she ever wanted kids, but I heard last year that she and her husband were thinking about trying. Obviously, not going to be the case anymore, and it looks like she's trying to take it out on me. And I'll tell you this, if she tries to take it out on my child, heck will break loose, and nobody will be able to stop me. I'm sure I'll have another update. Can only hope it won't be in the next 9 months unless anyone is interested in one before then. And that's the end of the story.
It seems like your sister is uninterested in your life.
I agree.
Information diet, I don't think it really matters. She's a part of it anymore.
Does she even need to know about all these things that are happening? Because she doesn't seem to want to know about them.
And if she gets upset because she doesn't know about it,
Oh, well.
then know how to send you a
boo-hoo.
memo.
And that's that. But guys, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.